Alrighty. Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. It's time for another live stream because, it's that week again, I guess. So this live stream is going to be kind of a fun one because I have another guest star joining us. It is, of course, UnicornWizard from my newest series, Rags and Riches. He is our Mad Dad, or Mr. Lucerne. I am super excited to have you here, dude. Like, I'm so stoked to have you here chatting with us, like hanging out with us, because I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. Like, we could talk about the story so far, like we could talk about your character, you could talk about whatever you want, honey. Welcome. Oh, like seriously, the cafe is so like super big and super welcoming, and I'm super excited that I have another guest joining me. Like, the last one I had was read a couple of weeks ago, and that one was fun. That one was a lot of fun. We read, what was it, Sonic High School fanfiction, that was weird, but um, I'm really excited to have another guest. And I mean, if that's what happened in the last one, who knows what the hell this is gonna go. So people are all rolling in the chat. I don't know if you can see it or not. People are rolling up. Well, everyone is saying hello. Everyone is saying hello. Yeah, no, you're gonna get used to that. Like, Sanctuary Audio had to get used to that as well. You might get some hate mail, like, which is the best. That's the best. No, right? I love bringing like new talent in and throwing them in the deep end as villains. Like, just immediately making my entire channel hate them. Like, as that's one of my, like, it's my kink. Like, that's just the thing that because like I felt so bad for Sanctuary. I was like, no, you guys, he's a cool guy. Like, don't drag him. It's just the character. Blame me. Like, if anything, be mad at me. It's my writing. Like, oh my god, like, and I'm so happy that you agreed to do this because well, your character's not always like your character's not always going to be bad. Like, obviously your character has a little bit of a lighter side when it comes to like the people that he, like Miss Rose, like the people that he's connecting with or the people that he works with. Like, so it's not always going to be a villainous thing. Like, this is the thing, is that I think in this series I really don't want there to be a bad guy. I just want fate to be the enemy, you know? Like, things keep getting in the way.
Not like he's he's just a victim of circumstance. Like, he grew up a certain way and he just thinks a certain way, and it's really no one's fault other than the way he was raised, I can tell. And he is a good guy. He just has standards, and that's really what every parent has, in all honesty. And
I mean,
this
yeah,
might
like standards.
well, yeah, of course. And see, because like I have a little brother, and he's 12 years younger than me.
Oh, wow.
um yeah, right. So basically my mom's had to start all over once I graduated. And I've basically been taking care of him ever since I was 12, so I've basically been a father since before I was even a teenager. So I kind of already have that parental fatherly kind of, like, I basically know how to be a father, which is kind of weird to say. I don't want to,
No, I totally get it. You have that like paternal instinct because, you have a sibling.
yeah,
Like, totally get it.
yeah.
Like, you
And
want to take care of that person because you care.
yeah, exactly. And that's what I was trying to portray with this. Like, if I was, I mean, and it's weird because like I don't hate anybody. Like, it's really weird to like imagine me going inside of a room and being like, what the hell do you think? But
Well, I
like
mean,
when
considering whatever they imagined the situation was that we were in, like, that's what I really liked, is that it wasn't one thing or another. It wasn't a specific situation. Could have been something, could have been
yeah,
nothing. Like,
exactly.
that's up to you to decide.
Yeah. And
Don't make me do the
that
work.
that's And that's why I really like this. I like the story a lot because it really is kind of a like a forbidden love kind of Shakespearean kind of deal.
Well, actually,
And
okay, like I actually got a comment like this not too long ago, saying like, "Oh, I this was based on like it's totally based on an idea I had not too long ago," and I was like, "Well, this story actually exists. This is a
oh,
like it's heavily inspired by it's." I actually have to look this up because I'm going to butcher the name, but I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. Like, but
right.
this story is based on something a book that actually exists, and it's a very similar story. I'm just going to take it in a very different direction. It's
Okay.
very similar characters in terms of like the listener being the rich like person of like or offspring of a rich person, and like the worker, the working class girl.
Yeah.
Like this is totally a thing.
I could see it. I could see it. Like, because yeah, and then, like I was like I say in the audition, like it's really funny to say like, in my high class family,
Yeah,
but
right.
I've never like the highest class thing that I own is a fucking shitty $200 amp I got from a pawn shop.
I mean, hey, like budget is as budget does. Like I get it.
That's yeah. You learn to make it work. It's like that part in the movie Friday where she gives her son $1 and he's like, "Hey, buy me some cigarettes." And he's like, "This ain't enough for cigarettes." He's like, "Make it enough."
Oh my god, where is this? Like I'm trying to look for this. I don't know why I'm on Wikipedia, but we'll see if anything actually
Most reliable
happens.
source.
If anything actually happens out of this. Cuz this is based on a this like it's actually currently an ongoing Netflix show that's based on a
Oh,
book. And I saw this on when I was working one day, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love this idea." And so I started writing. And I've been planning this for about a couple of months now, and I loved the concept, but I wanted to find the book that it's written off of, because like it's originally based on the book, and I want to find the book before do anything else,
yeah.
like because I want to credit the book because the book came first.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like nowadays, every movie is based off of some.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm like radio silence. I'm just kind of like
Oh no,
I'm
it's
looking
fine.
I'm looking through trying to figure this out. But okay, so basically it's a Spanish TV show. It is 100% in Spanish. It is like fast talking Spanish. Like I can't even sometimes pick up on the words that they say.
Yeah.
But it's a show called Velvet, and
Okay.
it's based on a book called God. It's like Entre las Cosijas, or Cosejas. I think that's what it is. It's something in between the lines, in between the threads, something like that. But it's
Okay.
basically it's the whole story is it's this guy, like this rich son of a fashion boutique owner, and that caters to high class, like people looking for high class fashion, and they make all the dresses and all the clothes there in the boutique. And the
Uh-huh.
the son growing up as kids, like he grew up in that boutique, and so did the girl, so did she. Like she grew up in this boutique learning how to work because she was an orphan. Like she lost her parents really young, and this was the only alternative she had was to live with her grandfather who worked at this place.
Mm,
And that's where the idea came from. So it's definitely based
okay.
on something that exists, but I
Yeah.
don't think that most people would be able to watch it.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, like everything is based off of something in some capacity, even original ideas. Like, um, I remember when I was writing, when I'm because I'm currently writing my own story. Um, like I'm only like 4 chapters in because I haven't been able to work on it because of all the crazy shit going on. But um, like I'm working on a story of my own, and I had a first draft of the story that was at when I first came up with it, I was the most proud I've ever been. Like I thought this was the most kick-ass idea. There was going to be fucking cyber ninjas and mad scientists and fucking crazy deaths and just like things like that. But like more I looked into it and the more that I said it out loud and like read, like actually, you know, fucking trialed and errored, I realized everything is ripped off of something. This is a scene in Dragon Ball. This is like the character in Sailor Moon. This is like
Well,
this,
I
and
mean,
this is like the beginning of Spider-Man.
that's
It's
always
like
gonna
I think,
happen. Every story that's ever been told has been written. You know, like it.
oh, of course,
And at this
but
point, it's
like,
just retellings.
my I was blatantly taking shit. Like
Oh,
the
oh, I feel it. Okay, no, I get it. Like, I totally get that. When I was actually super funny, when I was first writing Crendon Theater, I actually didn't realize that I was actually writing them based on people that I knew. Like,
oh
like
yeah,
Lady Araceli, she's actually based on someone I know, like
okay.
100%. And like all these people, like Sir Adrian, Sir Ian, they're all based on people I knew, and I didn't know this until I was like on the 100th page, and I was like, oh, I should probably take a step back because like
It's
this is
getting
a
too
story, like
uncanny.
this whole story, the way it goes is a very dark story for me, and it's
Uh huh.
based on something that actually happened to me. So I'm just retelling it in a very fairy tale-esque way. So like, throwing in like paranormal stuff and kind of throwing it like, I think I spoke about this in my last stream where it's like I literally have every trope you could potentially imagine in this series. I hit the
Mhm.
sci-fi, I hit the, the drama, the romance, the comedy, the this, the that. I hit it all. And I love that. Like, I love that it doesn't have a genre. It's just an audio play.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to do with my story too. Like I wanted to be like a romance, an action, a horror, a comedy, just everything. A fucking romaction already. I wanted everything.
Ah.
Um, but the thing is, I was biting off way more than I could chew. I was so ambitious with all this crazy shit. Like it's like I was gonna have this intense death scene that's reminiscent of Trunks and Gohan in the fucking
That's
in the
fun.
Dragon Ball Z movie. Like um I was, like this mad scientist is just like the mad scientist in Sailor Moon, where you can only see his glasses and his smile, and he's like fucking crazy and shit. Like, I had this idea where one of my characters would wear a mask, and this mask, if you grabbed it with your bare hands, it would like read your fucking body
Oh,
cells or
I
some
see
shit
what you're
and latch
saying.
onto
I
your
get you.
face. Yeah, it would like latch onto your face like a face hugger from Alien, and
Oh,
it'll like transform you into this crazy cyber ninja fucking shit, which is like nothing like what I want to do now. Like I basically I don't know if evolved or devolved is I don't know which one's correct in this context, but I basically changed my story from being like this crazy action filled like cyber ninja romp to a slice of life like kind of uh story that the main attraction that I want people to like take away from it are the relationships themselves and how they interact with each other. Um, because
right,
I've always
right.
loved stories and like because I'm just gonna say I'm not too big on anime. I've never been big on anime.
No, I feel it.
I have anime that I love. Of course, I mean I've been talking about Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon this whole time, but I have anime that I of course am a fan of, but I don't go out myself and do it myself. But one thing that I've always loved in any anime, doesn't matter what it is, are the episodes where they do nothing and it's just them hanging out. And it's really and I love cute conversations and shit. Like it's really I love that kind of
Right.
those kinds of stories, like beach episodes or like they're going
Oh
shopping
my god,
because
the fan, like, oh my god, what is it? Fan pandering or whatever?
the fan service,
Fan
absolutely.
service. Thank you. That's what it is.
Yeah, and see, like with my three characters, that I created, I don't, I don't like, how do I say it? I don't know how to say this without
Oh
it
my
sound
god.
weird, but
Yo, I'm like going
basically,
through the I'm like going through the comments right now, and there's some like I just read this one. Sorry, like it just choked me off.
mm,
It was from the guy I was talking about, the guy that made the comment about, oh, I had this very similar idea.
uh,
He like he just commented in the stream. He's like, my version of the story was a bit more gay though, to be honest. Honey, yes. Like the more the better, like in my opinion. Like I love that. I love that. That it's the idea except gay. I love that. Like
yeah,
I'm
and
100% for it.
that's what I love. I love ideas that are just gay because like I love the ideas of like people's, because people are interesting. I don't know how else to say it, but people are just interesting fucking creatures. And I think it's really, really cool to see like the evolution of a relationship, whether it be a friendship or otherwise, that can like, especially if they're completely different people from completely different walks of life and they have nothing in common, but then they find that common ground that they can latch onto, and then suddenly they're on the same page and now they're inseparable. Like
Yeah.
that's the coolest thing to me.
Oh,
And
oh yeah.
what I've always wanted to like try and portray. Because if you look at my three characters, Alyssa, Jet, and Ophelia, they're three completely different characters. One is super shy, one's really bubbly and happy, and the other one's a fucking punk that didn't do with anything. And these three like drastically different personalities, I want them to be together in a believable way that isn't like, you know,
Right. It's not
like
forced.
yeah, like whenever in like teen movies where they have the jock that's, or not even teen movies, like in Saved by the Bell or something, like why the fuck are all these really like these handsome crazy cheerleaders friends with fucking Screech? Like what the fuck, why is he in this realm of friends when he's just a fucking nerd geek that always gets in the way? That's it's hard to believe that. But when, you know, if you actually take time to build up that relationship, it's believable, and then you start to actually care. And that's what I want people to do. I want people to give a shit.
Right. And oh, here's another comment. And I meant the gay part as kind of problematic because of the Elizabethan era setting. Well, I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna notice. Like, I wouldn't. I'd be like, okay, these two women
Yeah.
are going at it. Great, fantastic.
It, like it's a story. You can make gay marriage legal in the 1800s.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, it's a fiction.
If the devil can own a curio shop, why can't people be gay in the Elizabethan era? Like, why can't that be a thing, right? Like,
fucking, I'm waiting for that one fan fiction that's because everything exists at this point. But I wonder if there's a fan fiction that somebody wrote that's between like like Abraham Lincoln and John Wilkes Booth or something.
oh god, don't go there. Come on, man.
Can you imagine? Like, what if they actually start talking and then they become friends?
Well, that's just it. Is that that probably does exist. Like, I've seen weirder. I've seen a Garfield X-Ray from Star Wars that a friend of mine a person I call a friend wrote. Wrote. Authored. Created. This person I call a friend thought, hey, you know what would just make your day?
What?
Jesus, like this disturbing fan fiction. That's the only way you can describe it, as deeply disturbing, and it makes me question why I'm friends with these people.
I mean, like whenever I see fan fictions like that, especially when it's something like Shrek X Shadow from Sonic, and like they give birth to SpongeBob or something.
Oh God.
Like that's,
I can't with those. Like I can't.
I can't either. But the thing is, it's almost kind of predictable, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
no, obviously it's gonna be over the top. Like
it's over the top, and to me, it's almost like kind of try-hardy, because it's like they're trying way too hard to be shocking.
There's some that use finesse. There's some.
Of course, but like there's a vast majority that don't.
That are reaching. Yes, like there's some that's like it's like okay, yeah, we're done. Like
just because you got a fucking 100 on an essay in high school doesn't mean that you're an actual author.
Yeah, like just because I got a 1500 on my SATs doesn't mean that, you know, like doesn't mean anything apparently.
Hashtag humble
here we are.
I've always been interested in writing though. Like I just never practiced it, but I've always liked the idea
about my channel is that like there's so many other like channels like this that pop up that are like, oh yeah, we write scripts or send me scripts and this and it's like I don't fucking use scripts. Like I don't. The only time I write scripts is for other people. I'm not joking. I do not have, and then I will improv my lines based in that situation because I find that it's more natural for me. Like,
Oh yeah, of course.
and because I'm so used to being a thespian, I'm so used to being on stage, and I'm so used to just having to think in the moment, like, that it's just comfortable for me. So I feel like it's more natural. Like the Love on the Elevator, that's actually like my latest video. That was actually based on a How I Met Your Mother episode. And it was like it went a very different way, but like it was just based within the first intro, like the first 30 seconds before the theme song played or something.
Yeah.
And like I just sat down in front of the mic, turned it on, and I just thought of things to say. I was like, wait a second, come on. Like, I had to stop several times. It's like, what would this guy actually say to you in this moment? Like, be real. Like,
Yeah.
you have to, if you were a guy, like, you, first of all, you'd be hot. But second of all, what would you actually say?
Yeah, honestly. That's the thing, like, because like I said, I've never done anything like this. The closest thing that I got to acting was in high school,
This.
my senior year. Well, actually,
God, I want to.
it was actually in like I said, in high school, I had
God.
debate class because they didn't give me guitar, and
Oh,
I
what a
and I
sad life you
remember
leave.
I was
I'm just kidding.
disappointed.
I'm just kidding. Keep telling the story.
No, of course, of course. No, like I was disappointed because I really want a guitar and they gave me debate without my consent. So like
Oh, I
they
feel it.
they just gave it to me. I'm like, what the fuck is debate? They're gonna catch it with fish. But like I finally went into class, and first of all, the teacher was a fucking sweetheart. I was like, I'm like, I don't want to get too real too early, but like during most of my high school, I was essentially I was homeless, and a lot of people were helping me out, especially my debate team.
Okay,
Um,
that's dope. Like, that's what I love
like
about teachers. Like, they
yeah,
fucking
like
care.
a lot of them actually give a shit, which is crazy because like a lot of them really don't. But this teacher, oh my god, Mr. Jordan, oh, I love you, I love you. But I remember, and the exact same thing happened. Like how our interaction came to be was essentially how it happened with my debate teacher. Our first assignment every day he would have like a prompt and we would have to write an answer to the prompt on the board or on a sheet of paper, and then
Right.
he would have us like read it. And I remember it was, what was your favorite color? I think that was the first day, and everyone was like, I like blue because it's blue, and I wanted to do something different, so I of course went all out and I just went on this huge tangent on why I like red, and um, I forgot what I said, but I said something like Lord of the Ringsy and crazy, and this guy was a fucking nerd too, so I knew that he was gonna appreciate the
Oh
nerdness
my
of
god.
the whole
No,
thing,
I totally get
and
it. Like, I totally
and
get
I,
it.
like I stood up and I started reading, and because of the way my voice sounds, everybody was shut. They fuck it was a legitimate standing ovation on this first day, and I'm just like, I just read from a paper, thank you. And after I read it, he was like, that was come here after school, and I'm like, okay? And I go, and then he's like, I want you in my debate team, and I'm like, why?
Aww.
So I did it anyway, and
Because you felt you had to. Oh my god.
and it was because it wasn't my thing,
Oh my
because
god.
with debate, like they would give you a topic you know nothing about,
Right.
give you an hour to look up everything, and
Right.
not only to look it up, but to fucking make your speech and rehearse it in that hour, which was the hardest shit ever. So after three, which I got 3 6s on, which I thought was funny, which I I kind of stopped after that, but like the there was this one assignment that was probably my favorite assignment in the entire year. We had to write a script. We actually had to write a script, uh, doing a modernized version of the Christmas Carol,
Oh my
and
god.
so we had to like write it completely from scratch. And it's funny because everybody else, man, I wish I still had this work ethic. Everybody else, like, we're just we're all in groups and we're all gonna act our parts. But the thing is, everybody just had their scripts on a shitty piece of loose leaf with all their lines written haphazardly on it, and they're all like cradled up together trying to find what the fuck that says or whatever. Whereas with me, I actually spent like an entire night, and my computer even shut off when I was almost done, so I had to start all over
Oh,
again.
that sucks.
And I wrote this entire script myself, and I thought it was actually pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna. I wish I
And you
still
got
had the script.
slammed.
Like I actually was really proud of it. I wrote this whole thing. I played the narrator and the Ghost of Christmas Future.
Oh my god.
Because I had this Halloween costume that I could wear as the Grim Reaper.
You have an Orson Welles complex. It's cool. Keep going.
and so like I go into school, and then I print everybody out their own copies of the scripts, and I highlighted their parts. I fucking meticulously made this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I put a lot of effort into it, and it's funny because I put so much effort into it, but I named my character Hugh Gilbert Rection.
God damn it.
So his name is Hugh G. Rection.
God damn it.
And
God, that's brilliant.
There was a little Timmy character, and I what the fuck?
Oh my god.
I think I named him like Jack Soft.
Jesus
And
God.
And what was the other one? What was his
god.
Watson? What was his name?
Oh god.
The other Scrooge, like Scrooge's buddy or whatever his name is. I think I named him
his assistant?
I actually remember I called him Ernest Jack You Late.
Oh my god.
So his name was E. Jack You Late.
How are you not famous?
And I read this in class.
Oh my god.
And like everybody was everyone loved it, first of all. And the thing
I'm
that,
sure
that
they
made me
fucking did.
I made this shit funny. Like I did so much to make sure that this was as entertaining as fucking possible. Like
oh my god.
like I said, I gotta find it. I gotta find a script. I don't know where it is, but I gotta
for real.
find
If you do, send that to me, because we can make this. I can help you make this happen.
That would be so good. That would be so good.
We can make this happen, and I would be so proud to put my name on that. Are you kidding me? Like, I would be so proud to put my name on that. Like, you don't understand. Like, when I was in college, like, not that long ago, a couple of years ago, like, when I was in college, I was in the Vagina Monologues for 3 years in a row. I put that show on. You don't understand. I enjoy how much these names have, like, made an impact. Like, I've said the word so many times, it's just dead to me. And I'm so excited to be able to put my name on something like this. Like, I'm sorry. Okay. Are we good? Can we hear me? Hello? Can you all hear me? Please tell me that you can all still hear me. So what just happened is essentially my laptop just died, or essentially crashed.
Oh wow.
Okay, so I was telling you this in the beginning. If the laptop gods permit, the exact same thing happened to me last time. My computer continued to just crash on me. And for the last couple of hours, it's been fine. I don't understand what happened.
I know. It was actually going for a very long time.
I'm so embarrassed. Like, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, I hate this. Like, I have a computer that's able to, like, run 4K video games. I have nothing installed on it, and it does this. I don't understand. It's constantly plugged into a power source. It's constantly, like, has energy and charge to it. I don't understand.
I go through that exact same problem every single time.
and I'm so embarrassed because like I want to be able to do these live streams, but if this keeps happening, I can't. Like I won't be able to hold a conversation. Like I won't be able to, especially if I want to bring guests in. Like my laptop will just shut down, and it'll come back on, and luckily everything is pretty much still intact, but it's frustrating as hell.
I trust me, I know. I like whenever if like you're still gonna try and like get back into the stream. Like, is it still going?
It's still going. Like,
okay.
I don't think it stopped. That's the crazy thing, is that I don't know if it disconnected or not. I hope it didn't.
Because actually, I do have a story relating to that I will never live down. It's probably one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to me.
Oh my God. Like, I hate this.
Computers fucking suck. I hate computers. I hate technology. I legitimately, like, they try to make your life so much easier, but
it's Windows.
It's impossible to use.
It's not technology. It's Windows. Windows 10 specifically. Mm-hmm. Any of their new updates, it's never any good, and it's just ugh. It's always it takes like 6 years in order to get their first one correct.
I've never been too computer savvy. I just kind of Google something and hope that the answer that they give me on the forums work. But
I'm a BA in it. I'm supposed to be tech savvy, but I don't know how to work my own computer.
I mean, it's an anomaly. I can't tell you how much money I fucking spent to fucking like reboot my entire computer and wipe everything to have a clean slate, and then coming home like, okay,
I'm being told to check my Twitter. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh
my God. I'm about to send this to you. Get your phone next to you. Is it in your hand?
It isn't.
Be looking at the screen. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
Okay.
Let me see.
Look at what the hell I just sent you.
I'm looking at what the hell you just sent me.
Okay, so here, let me see if I can put Yo!
I'm ecstatic.
Kickback, if you can like post that photo in the chat, that'd be great. Like, if you could put the link in the chat, that'd be great.
Oh my God. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Isn't it awesome?
That is
Congrats,
so good.
You just got your first fan art. Of you.
Of me as an actual unicorn. Whoa! Oh.
I love that I have a moon for a face. Like, I love that. Like, that's just my face. I don't even have hair. I just have a face. Like,
that's a great persona. Oh my God.
I love it. I love this. Like, they're watching us and doing this. Like, they just did this. My stream crashed and they made this. Shit. Like, I feel so much better that my stream crashed. Thank you. That's so cool.
This is amazing. I love it so much.
Retweet this shit.
Oh my God.
Like, oh my God. I'm so happy. I'm happy.
Oh, I'm smiling like a doofus over here. This is great. Oh my God.
That's what I love about like getting talented fans. Like you. I found you were a talented fan that had all these gifts, and then look what happened. Like, this is what I'm saying, is that I love when people share their talents with me so I can share it with other people and force them to see the talent. Because I love that. I love just inconveniencing people and shoving other people down their throat. Like, that's just how I roll.
Like I've like at this point where I am right now, I'm kind of like I'm slowly kind of building my thing up. It's not really a priority as of now, only because, like, of course I got life shit to attend to.
Right.
But once I get all of that like figured out, then really gonna like do my best to actually start making YouTube videos.
Well, I mean, feel free if you need any help. Like, I'm always open to helping other channels, like editing, whatever you need, even art.
Oh my God.
If you need PR, I got you. Like, well, that's just it. Is that I went to school to be a producer. Like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
Like, I produce. I make shit. Like, that's just it. Is I don't work for any other channels. Like, you know, a bunch of other channels work for each other. I don't work for nobody. Like,
Right.
I'm happy to, you know,
Oh,
be a platform, but also if people need like additional assistance, I'm happy to help.
oh my God, of course. That
Like
makes
if
me
you
so happy
ever
that you're
need
so
like a person for your fan base to universally hate, I'd be more than happy to be that person. Like I'd be so happy to be that person. Believe me, it would give me life.
Oh man.
I
Like
actually did hit someone like an actually a big ASMR channel up, and I said that exact thing, and he was like, "I will keep that in mind." That's their first impression of
like
me.
like I will absolutely like trust me, you'll be the first I'll go to when if I need help with that. Because because I actually had a YouTube channel like before this one, but I was like 14. That so that's for the dogs that I'm not re that ever. But they're like I have a lot of ideas and things I want to do now. But the thing is, I have so many ideas. I don't know which one to start with.
Do them
Like I
all.
want to do, and that's exactly it, right? Like
Just do them
I
all.
want to do like guitar stuff, music stuff, art stuff, fucking like just a bunch of different ideas that I have, like animations, especially once I get that. Um, but like
Once you get your
it's
Cintiq.
well, because funny thing, I actually got my first tablet because I always drew with a mouse, and I just barely got my first tablet like 2 years ago
It feels
again.
good, doesn't it?
And oh my god! And the thing that's crazy is that I only got it for $20 off of Wish, and it works perfectly fine.
Oh my god.
And everybody is always like, "Oh, you can't get anything on Wish and expect quality." It's like,
Wait.
dude,
Okay. Wait a second. Like, okay. Um, you have Windows 7, right?
yeah,
Is that Bamboo capable?
Bamboo capable.
Like
I
it's
have
Cintiq, it's their brand of tablet. I think it's Windows
um
7 compatible.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't see why it couldn't. I could definitely believe that it doesn't, but I don't see why it couldn't. And like,
It's
I
one
don't
of those
have any
like
high.
plug and go kind of things.
Yeah, because like with I have a Huion, is that what that is? Yeah, a Huion tablet, and it was only like $20, and like
Mm.
it had that installation disc thing, and it worked pretty fine. Um, but I don't know. It's I have a lot of ideas and things that I want to do, and it sucks because I have so many ideas that all of them are unfinished. Like
Oh.
I start on all of them, but I never finish any of them. Especially since like always got shit going on in my real life. I barely
Oh.
have time to work on anything.
No, I feel it. Like, and you really
Mhm.
do. Like when these kinds of things, like with these channels, you really have to devote time. And a lot of the times, that's just it doesn't happen. And like a lot of the times for me, it doesn't happen. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm really happy with this one a week schedule. Like I can handle that a little bit more than like if I was doing every other day. Like I wouldn't be able to keep up.
Yeah. And see, like, I kind of been doing something like that on my Instagram and Twitter, but it's all the same. Um, I pardon. I I started in the beginning of the year. I um started doing like a drawing every single day. I've been slacking off hardcore because I haven't get anything out in the past couple because it's crazy. But
No, I
um,
feel it. I really feel it. Like
like
I
of
have
course
my
I'm
little
gonna
bamboo, but like it's so frustrating to use. I just don't use it.
yeah.
That's why I switched to
I
pixel
love
art is because I don't fucking have to worry about curves.
and the thing is I I love drawing digitally, but it's just such a hassle because my computer barely works half the time.
Oh,
So
amen.
if I draw one line, it'll take like 2 minutes to load that line. So it becomes more cumbersome in this medium that's supposed to be nothing but convenient.
Right.
So I just kind of gave up on it, and I've been with a little flash of digital if I can get something to work. But like and like I said, okay, there was actually one thing I wanted to bring up in the when we were talking about earlier. I my computer, it stinks. It's a stupid fucking doo-doo head, and tried. I have this program called Krita that I draw digitally with, and it has an animation software.
Right.
And the thing that I hate about it is that I looked it up online. I was like, hey, how could I do animations and shit on here? So I look up things on YouTube, and then it's like, oh, it's easy. You just draw and hit play. And I'm like, oh shit, that sounds like something even I could do. Let me try it out. But
Nope.
when I when I and here's
One
the
word.
frustrating
Nope.
part, when just absolute nope. And when I say nope, just a
It's a
fucking
hard Lana nope.
roadblock, because when I if I draw anything, you know how when you're drawing something and then you exit, it asks you if you want to save.
Mm.
When I did like a little bouncing ball animation, so of course it wasn't anything big because I wanted to try it out. But as soon as I hit play, everything closes, just gone. Everything just gone.
That's
forever.
lame.
Everything I was working on is gone, and I was like, what happened? What happened? What the fuck? So I looked it up. Nobody else had this problem. Literally, nobody else had this problem. So I'm like, what am I meant to do? And then I found out it's because I have Windows 7. The animation part of Krita cannot run the animation.
Of course
the
not.
animation
Like the
part.
one thing you need doesn't work on the one thing you have. Like
Exactly, and that's why I was devastated, because I've been wanting to animate ever since I was a wee baba, and I can't do it if I have this fucking dumbass computer. So I gotta, I mean, and everything's so expensive, and it's fucking food is expensive enough, and I need that to live, but I want to have fun too sometimes.
no, I feel it. I really do. Like I really do.
It stinks.
And
And
that's just
I
it. Is that like I wish I would use my tablet more, but it's too frustrating. Like it's one of those that it doesn't have the screen on it. Like, and I have used those before. Like I've been using Cintiqs, like 15-inch Cintiqs for years, and they're so much more satisfying to work with.
Oh, of course.
And I can't go back after that. Apparently, I've tried. I've had this tablet for like 6 years or something like that. It's great condition. It's an older bamboo, and I think they're like $50 or something like that. It's not too expensive, and it's pretty amazing. Like, it's just I just don't use it because I'm left-handed, and that kind of the tablet world hasn't exactly embraced us yet.
Yeah, that's true.
The lap tablet world hasn't embraced us yet. Because like the cord is like across the tablet,
Yeah. Fucking, I don't know. Like
Oh my
and
God.
the thing that sucks. Everything all right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm just looking at the chats, just like reading through. Like,
I see.
people are talking about back to schools and stuffs.
Back to school.
Yeah,
Oh,
what must that
God.
be like?
The only thing that I love about back to school is that there's tons of sales on art supplies.
Preach. Sales
Oh,
on
it's so
stationery
good.
that I buy and never use. I have so many journals
Oh,
and binders all around my house that have two words written in them and then nothing else.
I bought a notebook specifically so I can write down ideas for songs and stories that I have, and I never used it because I
Yep.
never have ideas.
Oh well, okay, that's one way to put it.
Well, maybe it's just that there's so many that it just kind of, it's like when you mix all colors together and it makes white.
You mean okay?
in the light spectrum, not in an art sense, because that makes some
I was
weird
like,
fucking dirty.
excuse me, like you were just talking art and then you go light spectrum. Like you mix all colors, you don't go.
I don't mean in a literal sense.
Lord.
We've all done that before.
Lord,
But
it is too early for me. It's like 10 a.m. where I am.
yeah, it's
Early.
Yeah, it's noon over here.
Yeah, noon and warm as hell.
Oh God! I on the new phone that I got, I downloaded this app that's basically an angry weatherman.
Oh
So
my
it
God, I
just
love that.
swears at you and yells about how hot it is.
See, I have the exact opposite problem as you do. I have the long hair, but I live in a beach town, so it doesn't get up as high as 70 here.
I always thought that, and see, this goes to show how little I go out, because I grew up in the desert, and now I'm in this humidity fucking bullshit. But I've always thought that if you lived near a beach, that it would be more humid because of the water.
Oh,
But again, I'm an
there's
idiot.
moisture in the air, believe me, but it's just cold, so it's a mist. It's never
Huh.
hot enough to be humid. It's only ever cold enough to be misty.
Oh
Like
man.
it's raining currently, which is good for, you know, people, which I hope would spread around because there are other places in California that need it more than we do.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like, and I feel so bad because, like, I know that I would not last. Like, I went to eight, like, I was hanging out in, like, a place that was at my parents' place, and it was, like, 90 degrees or something, and I was dying. Like, I couldn't handle it. Like, I felt like I was gonna pass out, and I was like, oh my God, I'm such a wuss.
Mhm.
Like, I'm such a wuss. Like, but it's not that. It's that I'm so used to, you know, cold temperatures. Like, I've been living here for 6 years, like, and it's just been the norm for me. It doesn't get warm till October here.
Warm.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't get
Warm.
warm until.
We have a,
Oh.
what is it called? Like Indian summer, where it's technically, summer doesn't come around until October. So it gets super cold in the summer, and then it'll get super warm in October.
Oh my God, I've never even heard of something so bonkers.
Well, that's because you don't have an environment in Texas.
Yeah.
Here we do. We have seasons here.
We do too, but in a span of like
It's just
3 days.
hot. Like, hot is not a
See,
season.
it is like okay because I swear to God, especially in the dead of winter, it'll be like 40 degrees, and then the next day it'll be 80, and then the next day it'll snow. The next day it'll rain. The fucking motto of Texas is if you don't like the weather, just wait.
Just wait.
And
Just wait
I've
10 seconds. And if you still don't like it, wait another 10 seconds.
exactly.
And if you do like it, wait 10 seconds.
and like I grew up in the desert, like legitimately fucking vast wasteland, and I'm more used to dry heat. I lived there for 18 years of my life, and then I moved here to
Used to
fucking
dry
where humidity. Oh God, the humidity, it's so bad. Um,
Ugh.
and I'm not used to
Like New
humidity.
Orleans,
I like
gross.
in El Paso, I the temperatures there, like it would go up to 117 degrees over there,
Mm.
and it'd be fine. But
Mm.
here it'll be like 80 degrees, but the humidity will make it like 103, and like it's like with the clothes you're already wearing, you already have this thick layer of other fucking being that's weighing you down, and
See,
it stinks.
that's so funny because, like, I think it's a guy girl thing. I totally think it's a guy girl thing, but I'm always cold, like 100% of the time. My appendages, I just have low, either that or I have low circulation because I'm so scrawny. Like, I'm really thin. And
I see.
I think it's just because I, like, my fingers and toes, like, are always cold because I think it's just poor circulation realistically. But it's so
Right.
funny because I'm always cold.
And see, I'm always hot. Like I'm sweating right now, and it's like it has to be at like
I'm
71 degrees up here.
freezing right now. Like, I'm in
It's
like
so
3
hot
blankets
in
right
here.
now.
I'm like it really sucks because I'm always sweating, and it's gross because when I'm with people, I want to be presentable, but like the moment I step
You need
outside,
to
I'm just drenched
You
in
need a
sweat.
vacation. You need to come hang out with me, I guess. You need to come and
I would love
take a
to.
vacation and hang out with me. Because, like I said, I live here by myself, so I can't accommodate somebody in my tiny house. But, like, if you need a freaking vacation, hit me up. Like, or if you're ever in town, hit me
Oh,
up.
that'd be really fun because I've only been to Cali once, and
Mm,
I was like 5,
lucky
so it
you.
doesn't count. Lucky me.
No, I'm serious. Like, you get to visit. I have to live here.
No. Like when I visited, it was one of those things where I only remember it being a hassle because it was one of those scheduled fun kind of deals.
Okay, so you either went to LA,
Yeah, I think we went to LA because my dad grew up there,
Anaheim
so we
specifically.
went over there. Because he grew up in Oakland, so like
Oh, oh,
I think it was around there.
Oakland is. Okay, so
I
let me
don't
put it to you this way. Okay, so LA
Okay.
is bottom of California, near San Diego, near the
Uh,
border. Oakland is about the middle of California, a little bit north. It's in between San Francisco, and it's like next to Silicon Valley, like right next to it. So it's
I
in the
see.
center of California. So they're like 6 hours apart.
Oh, well,
So
I'm
if you
just an
went to
idiot.
if you went to Oakland, where is
I
that where you
don't
were?
see, and that's the thing. I don't think so. I think I was in LA because
If you
I
went to Disneyland,
do.
you were in LA. Like, if at any
You
point
know
you
what?
were at a theme park, you were most likely in LA.
Yeah, because you. Oh, actually, yes. You know what? I did. I was in LA because I went to Disneyland when I was 5, and that was the most terrifying experience of my fucking life. Literally, few things have scarred me as much as fucking Disneyland. I swear to God, the Indiana Jones ride. Because
I love
when
that
I
ride. I love that ride so much.
because that was the only time I've ever been to Disneyland. And the only reason why we went is because we knew someone who worked there. So like we're too poor to go there like a normal person. And so when I went there, I remember specifically we went on the Indiana Jones ride, and there were three, I think it was three different things in that ride that freaked me the fuck out. The first one was that like because when you're a little dummy kid, everything's bigger, so everything is like
Okay,
much more
so the
intimidating to
snake.
you.
The snake.
The snake,
The snake.
the snake, the
I went as an
gosh dang
adult.
snake.
I went my first time going to Disneyland was an adult, and I've gone a bunch of times, so I remember exactly what you're talking about. Like I'm old enough
Yeah.
to know remember exactly what you're talking about. So the snake, the blow darts,
Okay.
most likely.
Okay. I don't think I remember the blow darts, but
Oh
okay.
really? That got me the first time.
Since since you do remember it, maybe you can clarify this because I've never been able to, because of course I've never been back. So like
Okay.
I don't know if this is a false memory. Was there a part where you're in complete darkness and they shine a light on the wall and then there's like bugs on there and then you hear a spray and then they all fall?
Um, something very similar. I think that what they've done is they've changed it up to
Uh
it's now just like you pass through like spider webs in a mist. You hear the bugs and like you feel like splashes of water, but that's it. Like
oh.
I don't
I
think
think that
I
might have
think what
been
you're
it.
thinking of is Universal Studios. You might be thinking of the Mummy ride.
I've never even been to.
Oh, really? Because like there's like a moment in that ride where like you get to a point where there's a light on the wall and a bunch of beetles scatter, and you know the flesh-eating beetles, and then the ground starts to shake, like they're crawling all over you.
Whoa, that gave me chills when you did that.
Oh, really? No, yeah. Like I remember experiencing that for the first time as an adult, and with my 4 other adult friends, and being completely scared off our minds. Like it was.
Wow.
We were in the front row too, so we got like face a full face of it.
Wow. And see like I because I don't even know. I remember
This
the
was
bug
pre Jurassic
so
Park hype.
oh wow.
So like this was when the park was kind of silent. When the Transformer ride was just getting installed, that's when I first went. And
Like
it
I've
was
only been
hell.
I've I've probably only been to like 3 amusement parks in my life, and one of them was only I worked at Six Flags as a
Oh,
scare boy for a while.
dude,
Um,
that's my dream job. Going to Universal
it
Studios and working as like either an artist or a an actor
character,
during the
yeah.
Halloween nights, cuz that's my dream.
Oh, it was so much fun, and like because I have long hair,
Yes.
um,
Exactly.
it it was perfect. The only thing that stunk was that I was a Zambo, so I had a bunch of blood on my face. So if I put my hair in my face, trying to wash that shit off.
Oh, honey, that dry when it
Mm.
dries. Was it
Oh, don't
cornstarch and
even.
food coloring, or was it the
Um,
Mehron stuff, like the stuff that like
it was it
semi-professional?
was it was some thick shit. Like it was really really thick.
Okay, then it
Like
was probably the fake spirit stuff, because
maybe.
the the cornstarch you can tell when it's cornstarch. It's got like a runny consistency, but it dries and it peels like it chips.
Okay, I think because I remember we used two. We used two different kinds of blood, and I always wanted the of course the thin one that dried up, but they would put like, and I felt so bad for the people that had short hair because they would put it all up in their hair, like all up inside. And they would always like keep it in my face, but sometimes they would feel cheeky and just like slap my hair because I
Right,
fucking deal with it later.
right, right,
And
right.
like the weird thing is, it was one of the most frustrating experiences to that work as a scare man, but it was also one of the most rewarding and the most fun that I've ever
Right.
had at a job. So I'm really torn between whether I want to do it again this year or not. Um,
I would love to have the
but
time or be near any of those venues to do it.
yeah,
My
like
friend does it every year.
luckily I work in or I was like I live in Fort Worth, and like I'm just a little ways from Arlington, which is where that Six Flags is, and I have no issue like revealing where, but like it was really close from here, and it was just one of those like bucket things
Hmm.
where like in like September or August I was just
Right.
like
Just
just like
why
looking up
not,
jobs.
right?
Yeah, and then it was like Scareman needed, and I'm like I want to do that, so
Let's
I
do
did.
it.
And then I went to a fucking group interview, which I now know means that you're here, so you got it.
Oh, yeah, like
Um,
that's actually it's funny too because that's makeup and prosthetics and special effects is the reason I got into the film industry in the first place and why I went to school for
oh yeah,
film. I'm still good at it. Like I'm still pretty decent and I've been like right now my friend and I are working on like a really big photo shoot and we're trying to piece together like we're doing a big collab that's going to like involve moving and squirting pieces.
oh,
So, because we just like gross stuff and like my Halloween costume last year was Zombie Boy and I painted my face completely up to be exactly like head to toe tattooed up like Zombie Boy and I killed it. Like I got he actually no, not even that. Like he actually responded to my photos on Instagram saying that he liked that.
ooh,
Like
ooh, that's good.
I love it, but I'm so sad now that I bring him up. Like it's so sad that like I don't know if you heard, but he did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like a couple of like last week or something like that. And it was a
Was
total
that recent?
accident. It was a total accident. Like yeah, it was recent. Like
God.
August 5th or something like that. It was recent.
Oh, that's depressing, man.
And I
So
saw
many
that
people
like
have
I look
been,
back at that photo and I'm like, oh, it's my best
man.
work, hands down my best work. And he saw it. And I was super excited about that he saw it.
Wow,
And like
wow.
genuinely liked it. And that's like that makes me feel like super special.
Oh yeah. Like I remember like the was doing like I when I was doing my drawings every day for March for the entire I only did a guitarist that I loved. And then after that I would do like I would play a song either relating to the band or
Right.
that I like to play. And like for that entire month, and just one day I decided to draw E-Rock 331 E-Rock, who on YouTube makes metal of. Like if you don't know 331 E-Rock at this point, at least if you haven't seen like a video of his drifting around somewhere, you gotta, man. He does so much shit. He's I remember I first found him on fucking Know Your Meme. That's how old this is. And a he did a cover of on I like back in like 2009ish, 2000, I even earlier. But I found it and I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm gonna subscribe to this man. And then many years later, now it's like I watched this and grow up. I feel like a proud mother.
Right. Like
And
you feel pride.
yeah,
That's
and
exactly how I
I
felt
love
at the NSP concert. Like I went to it and I got to see
me
it
too.
and I felt so much pride. Wait, you went to the Rock Hard tour?
Yeah, I went to I actually came back on the 12th of
Oh
August. I actually
my god!
went
I was on the last
a
day
few
in
days
San
ago.
Francisco. That's so funny. I got the
Oh
shirt.
shit.
Yeah, I got the shirt to prove
I
it.
I didn't get the shirt, but I got video to prove it. And they played UnicornWizard.
Oh my god, yes. They had the whole
Oh,
they had the whole crowd going. San
it
Francisco
was.
loves them some NSP.
Oh yeah, and this was their first show in Dallas, so it was like I went to the first one.
Oh my god, it's
Like
so exciting.
I have that little bit, like
Oh my god, I'm
like
like as we're talking, I just found the videos from the concert. That's so
oh
funny.
my god, it's great. Like
That's so funny.
I know, right?
Small world. Did MC Chris open for
And
you or was
what's
that
that?
after? Who was the opener? It was Twerp and MC
It
Chris, right? Or was it just Twerp?
it was not MC Chris. It was Twerp and this other band called Planet Booty.
Oh, wait. So is this the recent one?
Yeah, I went just a couple days ago,
Oh,
like on
okay,
the
never mind
12th.
then. I went to their first tour last year.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't even. I was saying like, oh, okay, Planet Booty. Yes, I was like the one that they're currently doing. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
they're
Um,
actually not passing through. I don't think anywhere near here, which is funny.
um, but going back to what I was saying with E-Rock, like
Oh yeah.
I've been a massive fan of his for years, for legitimate years, for probably almost 10 years. And um, like he's actually the main reason why I can play songs by ear.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't learn songs with tabs. I now learn how to play songs by ear. So I can learn a song in like an hour
Ugh.
enough to work
See,
with.
that's how I feel with
And
like with songs that like I can sing. Like I can learn
yeah,
them pretty quick.
yeah. And the thing about E-Rock is that he makes metal versions of a bunch of different shit like video games, movie scores, fucking pop songs, just a bunch of songs that you would never imagine to be in metal. And he makes it sound amazing. And because he plays it his own specific way, he does have tabs for it, but they're not readily available.
Right.
Like so I just looked at his fingers and listened to it, and that's how I learned. So he's the biggest, probably one of, if not the biggest catalyst that launched me into the guitar person that I am today.
Aw.
So I drew him during the month of March, um, and I was like, oh yes, I love this. I loved it. I was proud of it, and I just like tagged him just in the false hope that he might see it, and then he comments, "Oh, dude, nice," and I'm like,
Aw. See, I love that. I love that. That's
I
exactly the
squealed.
response I had.
It
I
was so
lost my mind.
it was amazing, and it was like immediate, and like with people who are that popular, it's such a crapshoot if they'll even get to see it, and oh my god, it was so good. And then again, that happened again because there
I'm
are
so
these
proud of you.
three other. Thank you. There was these three other guys that I fucking love. Their names are Jonathan Young, Family Jewels 7X, and Lyle
That's a
McDouchebag.
fucking name.
And I
Never
know,
mind. That's a
right?
fucking name.
And all three of them, you know, are central with music and guitar. So of course there are other inspirations. And I drew all of them, and they all fucking loved. They all liked it, and oh my god, I'm getting giddy just thinking about it. Like it's so exciting when you draw someone and you're just like, hey, I hope you like it, and they're like, I do, and I'm like, you do? It's fantastic.
Like, just don't panic, right? Like,
Oh my god, that and see that actually reminds me. In El Paso, there was this bar called Tricky Falls, and it's just a tiny little bar, but it actually had some really big metal acts perform there.
ah.
And and El Paso is like such a metal centric city. Like they love metal music, and that's where all of my metalhead friends. And I
My brother is so like I used to be very into metal. I'm into rock, like don't get me wrong. I just haven't been able
Mhm.
to find like a metal group I'm like, super all about. I think the hardest for me it gets is 6 a.m. like realistically.
If you spend some time with me, I think I might show you something like. But
I'll take your word for it.
and
I'm open.
and see, I'm open minded too. Like I've been a metalhead my entire life ever since I was 5 because my
See, it's
parents are
so
metalheads.
funny that you and I are essentially like the polar opposites of each other because I was a raver.
Really? Oh,
I
a
was a
raver.
hardcore raver. Like I went to the
Ooh,
undergrounds and the illegal
wow.
ones, and
Ooh, okay.
that's what underground means is illegal.
Oh yeah.
Um, and like I remember for my birthday once when I was turning 19, I went to a rooftop rave in
A
Oakland.
rooftop.
Yeah,
Oh
it was
shit.
in an
Okay.
abandoned building, and they had renovated this whole place out. And you had to call a number and get a password, show up at the door, give them that password, and from there, that's how you got it.
New England clam chowder.
Like it was, but that's just it. Is that like you would think that it'd be like a sketchy situation, but everybody there is so happy that you're just there. Is so happy to see you. It's just happy that you're there and having a good time. You don't mess with
I
them,
would
they don't mess
imagine.
with you. That's the entire like mentality.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And that's what I loved about it. Like I went to raves in Oakland in pretty sketchy parts of town, like really dangerous. Like, that I would never go by myself, like, for obvious reasons. But, like, I never had a problem. Like, never saw an altercation, never had an issue. I met so many new friends. I got to meet people. Like, you know, I've, got scary with people. Like, it's great. And I love that community. I love EDM. I still listen to it. Like, Knife Party is my shit. And
Okay, yeah.
like,
I know Night Party.
I love like hard hitting any kind of music I can dance to, anything I can like move to, because like that's my background. I'm fit through dance. I'm 100% fit through dance.
And see, there are tons of metal bands that have really awesome grooves that you can legitimately dance to.
100% yes.
Like, because like I said, I've been a metalhead since I was 5 years old. Because my dad grew up on the height of the whole like wave of British heavy metal. He was all into Iron Maiden, Anthrax, Metallica, Slayer, all that shit. And my mom was the heaviest that she listened to was fucking Bon Jovi.
Okay, that's fair.
And Michael Jackson was her fucking hero. She had the Thriller jacket. She had the glove.
Aww.
She looks like Janet Jackson. My mom is a fucking, she's Miss Jackson if you're nasty. And like, so because, and when my mom met my dad, her first concert ever was fucking Pantera.
Oh my God, that's a heavy concert.
I know, and like the shirt that she got there, I still have, and I still wear to this day. And there was this a couple months ago. Sadly, the drummer, because like I don't know if and just in case no one else does, the guitarist of Pantera was shot and killed on stage.
Yeah.
And way back in like 2004, I think 2004.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the crazy thing is, I had no idea, but his grave is actually buried in Arlington, 10 minutes away from where I live.
Oh, for real? That's cool.
Yeah. Hometown. So I visit him every so often. And sadly, a couple months ago, his brother, Vinnie Paul, the drummer of Pantera, also passed away. And it was one of the most devastating things because he's such a respected member in the metal community. Mm-hmm. And the thing that I love so much about the metal community is that I can't think of any genre that would ever do this, but as right when it happened, like literally the week of, they planned this event at the Bomb Factory, which is a venue here in Dallas. And they actually planned a memorial, like a public memorial that was free.
Oh, that's dope.
You just had to be there. Yeah. And they gave you the wristbands, and it started at 3:33 because Vinnie Paul's and Dimebag's, like, their thing was about the number 3. I forgot how it came to be, but they always had a thing about the number 3. So in honor of it, started at 3:33, and the entire show was just like his drum set was on the middle of the stage with a bunch of like flowers everywhere. Oh my God, it was cool. It was, and they played a bunch of different music videos and a bunch of different like other metals musicians paying their respects. Like they showed all their videos, but they played some music videos afterwards. They had people come up on stage and talk about really awesome experiences and stories that they had with Vinnie Dimebag, which, by the way, can you imagine how awesome the fucking story must be if it starts off with, I was hanging out with Vinnie and Dimebag the other day, and it's like, fucking imagine how fucking, like, being able to say that.
Right.
And I love Chris Jericho, and he was fucking there. And, oh my God. So, I was freaking out. It was amazing.
I think the closest, like, if I was to think about it, like, the closest it gets for me is that I know the drummer from Sleep. Like,
Sleep?
Yeah, it's a metal band that is, well, God, heavy metal band that is based out of California. I think Bay Area. They're getting popular. Like, he's also the same guy from Neurosis.
Oh, I know them.
Yeah, same drummer.
Okay.
He is the nicest guy ever. Like, my family knows him, just conveniently. And like,
yeah.
Like he talks to me all the time about going on tour and like, how he's doing all this and how he's surprised that he can still hear half the time. Like,
Yeah.
he works
Oh
he works
man.
with my dad, so he works at it's factory job. It was a factory job, and it
Holy
made
shit.
sense for like him, but like it was just funny to listen to the guy talk, like a touring musician. It was so interesting to listen to him talk.
And that actually happened to me because like and the reason why I bring up that bar Tricky Falls, they had big shows like they had Children of Bodom. I saw them there. I've seen Carcass, Obituary, who else? Deicide, fucking uh Stone Sour was there of all fucking people. So I saw 1/9 of Slipknot.
I love both those names.
Yeah, right. I love Corey Taylor.
I
And
used to totally be into Slipknot when I was in high school. Like nobody,
I'm
and to be honest, I didn't even understand it half the time. Like,
I love like back when I was in high school, I was a punk. I was just one of
oh
those like
god,
the
yeah.
only real metal is Iron Maiden. The only real music came out in the '80s, and like I
Oh
was an
my god,
asshole.
I hung out with those people. No, I literally hung out with those people. Like, that was my crew.
It's the worst, and like that was my crew too. And like
But
I
I
was
was
I
like
was
the only one
still
that wasn't musically talented. Like everyone had like
uh
bassist, drummer, like singer. I was like, well, I'm here. Well, I guess I was a singer, but they never. Well, it was a whole other story.
yeah. Um, but like at this venue, I saw Cannibal Corpse there twice, and
That's a fun show.
fucking I love Cannibal Corpse. And the crazy thing is, the second time I saw him, um, you could like go in the back of the venue and potentially meet musicians.
Mm-hmm.
And so my friends and I would always like for like an hour come out. And then the singer George Corpse Grinder Fisher came out, and he's massive. His neck is bigger than me, and he was like towering over me. And I had this meme on my phone of him with with his kids with like a giant fucking penguin or like a whale or something.
I love the
And
fact
the
that
meme,
all of Slipknots are dads. Like, I love that.
yeah, right. It's
Love that
crazy.
so much. Like
And this
when
guy,
metal people have like kids and daughters, like small children.
yeah, yeah, especially that. And the funny thing is, like the kid, like his daughters look exactly like him.
Yes,
So
100%.
it's insane. And it was I forgot what the meme said, but it was like one of those things where like they have a song called "Make Them Supper" or "Suffer," and then the meme was "Make Them Supper." Um, and I met Corpse Grinder. He was signing shit, and then I showed him the picture of his kids with
The meme,
the
right?
penguin, and I didn't even realize what is this stranger doing with a picture of my kids, right? Like I didn't even
Actually, no.
think
I
that
mean,
that
if you post it, I think everybody's gonna see it. You know,
yeah, but you
it's weird
know,
if you'd only just
I
have it
would,
download. It'd be weird if it was your background.
yeah,
That's where the line
yeah,
would be for me. Like for me.
I see.
Like if I
I mean,
posted a
I
photo of my
just
family and I was pretty popular, like on that Cannibal Corpse level, then yeah, I would expect people to know. You know,
yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's just
he gets it. Like I'm pretty sure he's seen weirder.
and exactly, and that's what. Oh my god, I still get giddy just thinking about it too. Like I showed him the picture, and I'm like, hey, I'm just wondering. Oh, this fucking timid little boy. I'm just wondering. Do you still have this penguin, this toy penguin? And then he looks at it, and he's like, oh man, how'd you get that? Yeah, man, when I went the blah 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 blah, and then he started talking to me. He started talking to me, and he
You
started saying how he knows the guy at SeaWorld, and so he goes there like all the time for free, and he's just telling me these stories as he's signing people's shit. And I'm like on the outside, I'm like, oh wow, really? But on the
like
inside,
you're
I'm like,
super interested, but you're screaming on the inside.
yeah, because like, because
Same thing happened
he's
with
based
me
on.
and Clint Eastwood.
You met Clint Eastwood?
Okay, here's the story. When I was going to
Oh my
school,
god.
I was volunteering at a film festival. And at the time, he was going through his circuit. He was touring festivals, and he was premiering J. Edgar, the movie with, I think it was Leonardo DiCaprio, about how J. Edgar was gay. And it was a great premiere. Like, it was awesome. But in the meantime, he was in this town just chilling. Like, he was in our town chilling, time to kill before he showed up early, so he had time to kill. And I was basically working as a somebody that would push play at the, DVD player and because everything was already set up for me. And that's pretty much the extent of what most volunteers at film festivals do. But like this particular screening, it was kind of like a bizarre one, and it was empty. Like, it was a big venue for 150, maybe 200 people, and it was empty. And my manager, the woman who's like putting it on, she comes in and she's like, "Is there no one here for the screening?" And I was like, "I don't think so." Like, we're about 5 minutes away and I think we're about to start anyways, because we have to play it no matter what to keep things on track. And people can come in anytime they want. And she's like, "Okay, we can hold off for like 5 minutes, right? Just give me a sec." She leaves. And like, I go back and I'm like setting it up just to push play. And what I have to do is I have to give like a little speech about what it's called, who the director and producer are, and like who's starring in it. Because this is, a standard. You have to, with film festivals, you got to know who it is, Every artist is important. And what ended up happening was I heard footsteps. And then all of a sudden, I come around the screen and bam, my manager walks in with Clint fucking Eastwood. She sits his ass down in like the front row, and she's like, "Here, just enjoy this movie. You'll have plenty of time for you'll by the time you're done with this, you'll have to go to your screening." And so she looks at me, gives me a thumbs up, and leaves.
Oh,
I'm standing in a room alone.
Wow.
With Clint fucking Eastwood, and I don't know what to do. He looks at me and his voice sounds exactly like it does in the movies. He looks at me and he says, "So what will you be showing me?" And I was like, I was like, I clenched up a little bit and I said, like, in a very nervous tone, I was like, "Here's the movie, this is the director, then this, and this. It's only about 15 minutes and I hope you enjoy." And like, I pushed play and I was sitting back there in the back because I'm not allowed to go out in the audience.
Yeah.
I was like screaming.
That's amazing.
It was so cool. And after it was done, I came out and I was like, "I hope you liked it." Like, I don't know what to say. I genuinely don't know what to say. And he's like, "I get it all the time. Like, you did a really good job. Thank you so much for hosting me. Like, you were really generous." And I was like, "Stop it." Like, and the manager came in and took him off to his screening. But I was like, "Oh my God." Like, that was the coolest moment of my life. Like, that was the only time I've ever been like so starstruck I couldn't say anything.
Did you feel lucky? Well, did you?
My God. Like, just Clint Eastwood is a very intimidating presence. He's no bigger than me. Like, he and I could share clothes. Like, he is, in terms of weight, he's thin. He's tiny. Like, he's a lanky guy. But damn, if he is not terrifying. Like, he walks in a room and you can see it in his eyes. Like, he has 3 daughters. You can tell in his eyes that he's got 3 daughters. And
it's like Josh.
Oh my
like
God.
Josh Brolin.
Yes, exactly. But Josh Brolin is the second he opens his mouth, it's like a wrecking ball. He's like to all of his scary. He's such a dick. Have you seen him in any interviews that he does, like for Deadpool specifically?
No.
Oh,
no, I haven't.
My God, he calls the interviews whores. Like, he calls them whores. Like, he makes like, it's Josh Brolin is a dick when in interviews.
Whoa. Like, is it in? Is it like in an ironic way, or is it like legitimately?
He's totally joking.
Okay.
Like, it's Deadpool humor, so he's totally joking.
Of course.
But like,
okay, cool.
There are moments where like he'll do it with like the Josh Brolin face. He's straight faced the entire time, but then he'll start laughing, and then you'll be scared as hell to laugh. My favorite thing. My favorite thing is watching Josh Brolin interviews, because everybody that interviews him is so scared as to how he's going to react. Unless he's there with anybody else. If it's him by himself, he'll fly off the handle. He'll do whatever he wants.
Oh yeah. And it's that I've actually been watching a lot of interviews of the comedian Norm Macdonald, and he's exact same way. He's that exact same way. And my favorite thing that he does is that he'll be on like Conan or something, and then Conan will be all like, "Hey, how are you?" or whatever, like just "How are you?" And then he'll be like,
"Sunny disposition."
"Yeah, I'm I'm doing fine. I've noticed that I'm married to a battle axe. And he's like, a battle axe? What? How can you say something like that? And then he's like, oh, you see, I was one morning I walk into the bathroom and then I says to her, I says, I say, honey, every time I look in the mirror, I just see a sad old man. I need you to give me a compliment. And she says, all right, your eyesight's damn near perfect. I said, you dirty dog. And then he's like, and then I gotta admit, I felt a little childish after that. It was a little hurtful. So I walk into the car and then I tell her,
that's some shit.
We're driving down the highway and I see a bunch of cows and pigs. And I admit I was a little bit childish, and I says to her, hey, those animals remind you of any of your relatives? And she says, yeah, you're my in-laws. And I said, you dirty dog. And all he asked was, how are you? And he's just banging these jokes out of nowhere.
That's what I love about watching Bo Burnham interviews, because he's so like, it's all right. You know, it is what it is. Like, he's so about his situation. Like, yeah. I love it. And I honestly, like I love his advice. I think it's smart. I think it's right. I think it's hysterical. I just think it's funny.
Bo Burnham is one of the only artists, like not just comedians, but legitimately one of the only artists that has actually made me want to tattoo a phrase on my body. It was when he did the song In the Perspective of God.
Oh, yes. I didn't think I'd have to write that.
That last fucking line that, not gonna give you love because I know that you want me to. If you want love, then the love has got to come from you. It's like, whoa!
Yeah.
What the fuck was that emotion I felt? And like, then when he did his Be Happy special.
Yes.
I want to do a fucking cover of that shit because that shit hit me harder than anything.
Love. Yes, I love that song. I love that. That whole piece was so good.
That last bit when he's doing that auto-tune shit where he's like,
oh yeah, the Kanye West rant.
Yeah, like that. Oh my god,
that special was hard to watch. Like from a mental health standpoint, it's really hard to watch.
And see, I've been struggling with depression for several years, and like everything that he describes is perfectly exemplified, like as to everything that I feel on a constant basis. And you know, especially that one part where he's like look at the people staring at me, like come and watch the skinny kid with a steadily declining.
And laugh as Z attempts to give you what he cannot give himself. Yes. Oh my god.
Oh man, and that's exactly it, man. That's why I make content, because I want to make people happy and give them what I can't give myself. Because when I give that happiness to others, it translates to me, and then I feel good, you know? And Bo Burnham is definitely one of those people that has actually legitimately blew me away, because I didn't even know about him until I met my friend in fucking trade school. Just like suddenly she just like looks at me and she's like, have you ever heard of Bo Burnham? And I'm like, no. And she grabs my phone, puts her number in my phone, and then says, okay, I'm gonna text you the thing and then you can watch it when you get home. And then I did. I was blown away. Yeah, I had no idea.
It's beautiful. Like, his work is really great. It's fantastic.
And like, I always use. I feel so bad because I always use this guy as an example. But he's like almost like a musical George Carlin in that he makes everything funny, but
it's offensive.
Not offensive, but that. It's thought provoking.
Kill yourself. It'll only take a minute. There's really nothing to it. There's a whole song. I mean, I know there's an underlying message. There's always an underlying message. Always. 100%. Exactly. But that's just the irony of it. Like.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting out of it, because like with George Carlin, he's and that what do you call it? That hungry hypocrite has become one of my favorite lines in modern speech.
I love that.
Um,
The country song is a great one too.
and like, I've just been watching a lot of comedians as of late,
Mhm.
because I remember that things can be funny. So I was like, let's laugh a little bit. And I keep forgetting that these guys know what the fuck they're talking about.
Well, yeah, like
It's
it's all
insane.
based on personal experience, and honestly,
Exactly.
I didn't understand like what it meant to like do stand up comedy or find your own humor or find your own like comedy through your stories. I didn't know what that meant until I was diagnosed, until I got
Mm,
that letter, and then I realized that if I don't fucking joke about this, then I'm just gonna be fucking sad about it. Like,
absolutely.
and so it's so like I make the most inappropriate, disgusting jokes because it's such a gross disease that you can't help but not laugh at it. Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous, and I love it. But like when I was growing up, my father he has skin grafts on about 75, no, about 60% of his body, face, hands, feet, arms. Like he looks different, and growing up, that's just always how I've known him. Like I didn't know him any other way. When I was born, that's just how he looked. And I never understood. I always thought my dad had a dark sense of humor about like because he would joke about his skin grafts all or his situation all the time. And I always thought like
Yeah.
it's just a dark sense of humor. I thought it was so like like awkward laugh kind of thing. But then now that I'm in that situation, I get it. Like I get it. Like I totally fucking get it. I make the most inappropriate jokes.
Oh
Like
yeah.
and I
Like,
get it. Like I totally
and
get it.
I had a friend whose father had sadly passed away when she was very young, and she jokes about it all the time because that's how she copes with it.
Right.
And um, like that's exactly how I am with all of my experiences too. Like I try to make everything funny. I try to make everything entertaining. All of the shitty things that have happened, it's been shitty, but there's a lot of funny stuff that comes from, or just at least funny scenarios that I can bring up and just remember. Like it's, um, I hate the phrase mature for my age, but it's, you
I
know,
feel it. Like
raise,
yeah.
ra- yeah, like raising a kid essentially for 9 years because like my parents always had stuff. So
Work,
like
yeah.
I was,
Lives and shit.
and yeah, and like not only work, but just like personal family quarrels.
Got it.
And
Yeah.
so I was essentially the only father figure in his life for the longest time. He would call me dad, and like my you know growing up with that and essentially being a father like that, I never really had teen years. I didn't really have fun as a teenager
Oh,
because all the things that teenagers normally do,
preaching to
I
the
wasn't able to do
choir.
because I gotta take care of the baby,
I
and
don't get to
I'm not.
I don't get to
And
enjoy my 20s. Like
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to enjoy the
And
rest of my life. Like
well, see, like doing like that's why I feel like doing anything on the internet, like content creating in any capacity, really saves you from that because
yeah.
you're at least still doing stuff. You're still doing something and sharing things with the world,
Well,
regardless if you fucking leave your house at any time.
honestly, I am somebody that can't say no to things. So when
Yeah,
I
same.
took this on, I had no idea it would take off as quickly as it did. I got this far and I've only been on for about a little over a year. And I've got over
Yeah.
5,000 subscribers, which is huge considering how many
Mm.
channels there are on YouTube nowadays. There's 5,000 a day
Oh,
opening up. And
oh yeah.
it's it's crazy to think how much this has snowballed into something very serious, into something very like something that is self-made and has brought other people here. It's brought other people comfort, and that blows my mind. The fact that
Right.
people find comfort in the stupid shit I talk about. Like some of
Dude.
the stories in these videos are actually based on true stories. Most of them are. And because you can't make stuff up like that sometimes. And
Yeah.
like, I love that. I'm happy that people find comfort. Like, they are really like stories, like some of the distraction ones that I do, like those stories are true. And like, I love talking about my experiences and looking back on some of them and laughing, because like
Oh,
there have been really serious, like Crendon Theater is really a very serious thing for me, and because it's very similar to something that happened to me, and like I said again, in life, and it's something that I'm not handling with the same amount of like lightheartedness as I am my channel. Like, I'm really nose to the grindstone with this one.
right.
And I mean, I feel like it's because because there's a script written to it, and that there's like there's more sentimental value to it for me. And
Oh yeah.
that's what I really love about Mistress Vixie. Oh my god, I can't believe that. Yeah, I cannot believe I got to that point where I have started that series. Like, I'm glad that people are responding to it. Like, I really am. But it's not what people, it's not what people are looking for or expecting. Like, it is the most
Yeah.
vanilla kinky thing you can find. Like, it really is.
Well, to be fair, it's on YouTube. It's not like it's on Reddit.
Well, no,
You
yeah.
know.
And, well, I have it on Patreon. Like, I'll post a little preview on YouTube, be like, a little tease and stuff, give you a little sprinkle of this, test the water, and then throw you head first in the Patreon.
Yeah.
And Patreon has saved my life time and time again. Like, seriously, it is actually, I hate dipping into these funds because I'm only trying to use them for, like my channel, because that's what it's for. But I've actually dipped into it for meds, like for my medications, and like,
Oh yeah.
and I feel bad about doing that. So I've actually put back money just to, be able to say that like I was able to put it back. But like, that's what I like about this, is to have this. I cannot believe that people are actually coming and paying to listen to me. Like, people are paying for me. For me. Like, for this. For this! People are paying top dollar for this.
I mean, like, if you're in any content creator in any capacity, you like everybody has that level of, I don't know if you can call it self-consciousness, self-deprecation, whatever you want to call it. You have this thing where you're like, I make stuff, it ain't good, but I make stuff,
but I do
everybody
it.
else absolutely loves it. Like, for example, I love to cook. Cooking is one of my favorite things. Cooking is its own art. I love cooking, and it's all about trial and error. But the thing that I've always noticed about cooking is that it's the thing that makes it the most like art is that if you cook food and then you serve it to people and you eat it yourself, you're just kind of like, it's all right, I could have done better, but everyone else is fucking adoring it, and it's gone in like half an hour.
Right.
But like, if someone else cooks for you, it tastes exponentially better because you're not the one that spent the most time with it. You didn't see all the mistakes that were made with it. You didn't see all the work that it took to make it. It's just, you just see the finished product and you love the finished product. And same thing with literally any form of art ever. Like, especially since I draw and play music, both bits, bless you, both bits. No,
I'm sorry. I just saw like a comment saying like, yes, top dollar. You best be grateful for those $3. Believe me, I am. I'm grateful for every single 40 Patreons that I have. I know every single one. Like, I recognize every single one. I know them by name. I know who's there and who's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it tells me, like, when someone deletes a Patreon and when someone adds one, like, it tells me.
Yeah. And see, I would absolutely, but I can barely afford to pay attention. So I gotta focus on my own shit here before I can start paying other people, because I desperately want to pay other people because they deserve it.
That's just it, is that I don't like, I'm happy to have this option open for people as an option. Like, this isn't something that like I really want people to go to. Like, this is why I make YouTube. I specifically make more content on YouTube than I do on my Patreon, is because I want people here. Like, it's free. It's still free. It's, even though there's ads, they're still free. And even you watching these videos helps me and my channel. Because of all of everybody on this channel, I'm actually making money on YouTube, which is crazy. I'm making monthly, like, YouTube is paying me monthly now. Like, I never thought I
Yeah.
would get here. And that's crazy. Can you imagine in like 2 years from now, or like even 5, like how much bigger this channel could potentially get?
Especially if you like broaden your horizon and like do like with more ideas, more collaboration, more like, you'll get
More
the
time
attention
on
of
my
potentially
hand.
bigger people. Exactly. And like, because I've, I, this is the this is that I've actually like done a a voice thing for somebody, because there's this guitarist that she's I love her so much. Her name is Baby Saster, and she does a bunch of she's from Japan, and she wears a mask with these like really really crazy looking gothic Lolita dresses,
Mm-hmm.
but she plays metal song covers, and she's amazing. And the first song I saw from her was fucking Painkiller by Judas Priest.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah,
like,
there it
hold the
is.
fuck on. Are you're a legitimate anime girl that's playing Judas Priest? Like,
Oh,
you
okay, I
think
see
that's
what you did there. You come up in here with that fire track and expect me not to donate my fucking money.
oh shit. That killed me. That's real. Oh. And that's exactly my reaction. That's exactly the way I reacted. I choked on my life because this is amazing. So and like and the craziest thing is, this Baby Saster, I saw her randomly on a sponsored video on Facebook, and I was blown the fuck away. And then I not only did she do Judas Priest, she played Number of the Beast, and Iron Maiden is my favorite band of all goddamn time. So you playing an Iron Maiden song, looking like that, get out of this shit. Man, you my favorite. And then I found out she posts fan art, so you better believe I drove her like 7 times.
I'm sure you
And
did.
oh my god, and she loved every single one.
Oh,
The way
people
she
are
texts.
people are concerned about you.
Real.
Death by laughter is unicorn dying or something. See, the reason that joke is so funny to y'all in the chat, the reason that joke is so funny is because that's the first thing that I said to him when he auditioned for me. That was my first
that was
response to
that
him.
was the
That was
first
the
try.
first words that I ever said to him ever was, oh, I see you gonna come up in here with this fire track and just completely blow it out of the water. And that was the first interaction we had.
Yeah, and then it turned into this, which again, it's like I didn't expect it. I didn't expect such a positive
You didn't
reaction.
expect me to
With
literally take you and throw you into the deep end, which is, I told you I'm gonna do that. Like,
like, because I was expecting you to have like a
what,
like
ease
you
you
said,
in?
the what?
What, ease you in? You've seen my channel, right?
No, yeah, well, of course, but like what I'm saying is like I was expecting that you had like you said, you had other auditions, so I was expecting that you had other
Okay,
people,
yes, I
and I'm
had others,
thinking
but it
that
was
you
like
had,
2 other people. Like,
but still, I was like, there's got to be like other people. I'm gonna do this as a maybe she might look at it, maybe she might like it, but you
I
loved
loved
it,
it. I loved it. Are you kidding me? Listen to you.
and
Of course I loved it.
and like people have always told me that I have a great voice, that I have a great radio voice, which I've always wanted to do radio, but nobody listens to the radio, so that makes me upset.
No, they
I
listen to
love the
YouTubers
radio.
for some reason.
I know. And I don't know. Like I have so many ideas of things I want to do, but yeah, like so I can finish up the story with Baby
Oh,
Saster.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was enamored with her, and like I sent her a bunch of fan art, and she loved every single bit of it. Like
Aw.
the way that she texts with these little like I think they're called kaimojis or something like that, and they're just like basically Japanese emojis,
That's cute.
and they're so cute. And she adds so many different like expressions and emotions with every single thing that she sends, and it's so cute. She's adorable.
Oh my
So
god, that's
like
so cute.
I was in love with her.
What is
I'm
she,
so
like
she's
16 or something?
no, I have no idea. I have no idea how old she is, but she has to be. I'm pretty sure she's like in her probably.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
like she wears a mask, so you can only see her
You can't
eyes.
really tell.
Yeah, and she keeps everything pretty well hidden, and of course I respect that. Like, want
Respect.
to, yeah. But we're just talking. We're essentially friends now. Like she's used my art in a lot of things, and I even drew something for her, and she was like, I love this. I love this so much. And I'm like, thank you. And she's like, hey, listen, is it okay if I use this and make it a sticker and sell it as a prize for a contest I'm doing? And
That's
I'm like,
cool.
hold on, you're saying you're gonna sell or not sell, but you're gonna like
Giveaway.
give away my art as a sticker as a prize? You think my thing is worthy to be a prize? Fuck! And she sent me 2 free stickers. One of her logo that I have on my guitar, and the sticker of my drawing, which I put on my sketchbook. And I was just ecstatic. I was so happy. And then suddenly, we're talking, and then she was like, I'm working on this Dimmu Borgir cover, which is like a symphonic black metal band whom I love. So I was like, I love Dimmu Borgir. Which one are you doing? And then she showed me the song, and it's called the Prodigies of the Apocalyptic some bullshit. But I love that song, even though I don't remember the name. I love that song. So I was like, oh my god, that's everything I love. And she's like, yeah, like I'm already doing the backing track and everything, but I don't have a vocalist.
Oh no.
Half joking, I was like, I mean, hey, I could do it, but
Yeah, right. Like slide into that, right?
like 60% actually, and then 40% like,
Maybe it'll happen.
a little bit.
You had
And
less
then
hope for me and more hope for her. Like, wow.
no, not like that. I mean,
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Of course. It's just that like because I like to my death metal voice like kind of decent. So I was like, I could try. And she's like, can you? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I never thought I'd get this far.
I didn't plan this far.
Yeah. So like she was just like, hey, like legitimately, if you actually want to try and do vocals for this song, we can do it. And I was like, okay. So there's a video of me singing that song with Baby Saster, and it was so much fun. It was so cool.
That's dope.
Fun fact, if if you just type in Baby Saster Dimmu Borgir, Dimmu Borgir, you'll find the video. And I dressed up in the same costume I did that Christmas Carol
God,
thing that I told you about.
It's like, back. Things come full circle.
Exactly. So I used that same costume because it's like a gothic metal song, and it was cool. But fun fact, that entire recording, everything that you hear in that video, I recorded the vocals while I had the worst hiccups of my life, and it actually came out.
What is
really,
wrong
really
with
good.
you and recording in like the worst of conditions?
I don't mean to. My whole life is just a fucking trials and tribulations.
Like, Jesus, you were telling me the story before we started the stream about how you were setting up for my audition. Like, Jesus.
Okay, so like just
recording
like a
in an
tangent.
oven, essentially.
Yeah. So just context for
Here's
that.
A success story for all of you out there.
So I was just traversing Twitter, and I got some stuff going on here, and then I just see the tweet where Vixie was saying that she needs voice actors, and I'm like
desperate need.
That's fun. Desperate need.
I was.
And I was
a desperate need.
And I was like, you know what? That actually sounds really cool. I might as well try it out. But at this time, I live in an apartment, and as stated before, I live in Texas, probably one of the most humid parts of Texas, and it's the fucking dead of summer, the middle or end of June, and it's just the worst. And the air conditioner on the upstairs in this apartment that I live at was busted. So the one that was downstairs, because the apartment we live in is a 2-story. Mm-hmm. The one in the downstairs was barely working. It wouldn't get colder than 75, 79, which is fucking abysmal to me. It's like legitimately like 80 degrees because of all of this mass that I got going on.
I cannot believe that you just like it's hysterical to me to think that this is what you did to audition for my freaking channel.
Yeah, and so of course, because everybody was downstairs because we're all fucking hot people, um, temperature wise, we like everyone was downstairs, and of course there's no way that I'm gonna be able to record like that. So I just head to the upstairs, and since the air conditioner is broke, and since heat rises because it's trying to get back to the sun, it was trapped all up in the upstairs, and it was legitimately inside of the house. It was like 109 degrees just in the upstairs alone. It was hotter in my house than it was outside, and and it was stuffy, like so fucking stuffy you could barely breathe. And that's where I did my audition.
Yeah, that's what I like to imagine. Is just like hot and sweat, like. Like this is a success story in the making. Like it's fuck those glam stories that you hear. Like this is the true Cinderella story right here.
Cinderella story, I don't know.
Like I plucked you up out of from nothing, like from the heat.
Oh man, it's gonna be like a Danny Sexbang story all over again, where I'm just this scrappy little boy, and then I'm picked up by this person that's like, hey, I like you. Come on aboard.
I tolerate you. Like. We tolerate each other, like that's cool. Do you want to do things that involve spending more time together?
Constant emails and constant I need this, constant critique.
Do you want to sign a contract that binds us together forever?
Long as there's a record deal, we'll always be friends.
Oh my god. It's so funny. Like the whole situation. I remember you telling me this like not too long ago, like 2 hours ago. And I was I was blown away. I was like, are you fucking serious? I was mad. Like, I was mad. I'm kind of like, mad.
Because I knew that you needed it by a certain time. And where I was at that moment, I wasn't going to get my air conditioner fixed until like almost 2 weeks after that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And like by the time, like, put it this way, from the audition all the way up until you uploaded the video, was when my shit was broken. So I had to sleep on tile floor for like 2-3 weeks before we finally got it fixed, and I can actually sleep in the bed again.
Well, I'm glad that I was able to shed some light. Like
honestly, that was a really rough time in my life. Like I said, like if I describe everything that has gone on in this summer alone, we'd be here for like 6 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, like you definitely brought like this level of giddiness that I really needed.
I love being the Ellen of the ASMR community. Like I love it.
Yeah, and see and how I even found out about you, I was like,
yeah, how did you find out about me? I don't know this.
So okay, so here's essentially the deal. I'll basically like I said, I won't go too deep, but the end of last year, like right before Thanksgiving, my fiance of 2 years left me. And so of course that was a extremely devastating time, especially since it was before the holidays, and I just had to deal with family death, and more shit happened after that. It was the hardest time of my life, especially because everybody in the family has their own shit. I'm essentially the only able-bodied one in the entire house, or apartment rather.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly needed. So even though I'm unemployed, I wouldn't even be able to get a job since I have to keep everything up here. And and we're being kicked out of the apartment that I'm in now. So we're trying to find a place. So I want to get a job in the area that like we're going to end up moving to, because if I get one here, then we move somewhere 40 minutes away, and then I have to quit. It's just a big hassle. So I'm essentially waiting. My whole life has just been nothing but waiting. And so I was alone at this time. I really didn't have anybody. So I've always liked ASMR. I've always liked the idea of it, but I never really looked too much into it up until I was like, I like the sound of people talking. Like
right.
My favorite thing is people talking in any capacity. I always fall asleep listening to podcasts, like movie reviews that are like hours long. Like I always fall asleep to people talking. It's really comfortable. And so I was like, there's a specific community for that exact thing, isn't there?
There is.
I look it up, and there's a ton of like, ASMR role play things.
Hi, we're over here. We're in the corner.
And because my heart was still broken at this time, I was looking at a lot of ones where it was like, affection and that kind of deal. It was at a really dark time in my life, so I just needed that I just wanted that
The
feeling of,
reassurance,
hey,
yeah.
you're okay, everything's okay, everything's gonna
Oh
be
my
fine.
god.
And it was a lot, like a lot of them were great, a lot of them all right, but
Oh well,
like
thank you.
what but one of the things that I actually really like, just as a character trope, or it has to be done right, but I do love tsundere shit, um which is why one of my characters is going to end up being one of those. I know,
No,
I
I just this
know.
is just I'm so sick and tired of getting those requests because that's the only type of requests I get. I don't get anything creative. I don't like. Well, I do, but like I don't get anything other than tsundere yandere type of videos. I don't get anything else, and
That's
I
frustrating.
get it. Like people want that. I get it, but I don't want to do it. And I'm not going to do it. Like and I
Yeah,
appreciate the suggestions, but and it's not to knock anybody else for doing it. It's just that I don't want to do it.
yeah, and that's totally respectable. But you know, it might sting a little bit to hear, but that was the first video that I saw of yours, was the tsundere one,
No, I
and
mean, if you found it, like 50,000 other people found it too. Like,
yeah,
if you found my channel through that, then I welcome you because, hell, you're now stuck
I'm
here.
here.
So,
I'm not stuck here. I'm here willingly. I'm
so
digging my own hole.
okay, so essentially, you found my video and thought, damn, this girl sounds like a snack. Like, like,
I mean, in all honesty,
yes.
actually, yes, because one thing that I always do, my my mind is constantly racing. My mind always goes to shitty places, so I try to distract myself, and I like, especially if I listen to music, um the original characters that I created, that I have, I of course want them to have a like, they're also musicians. Like,
Right.
my character Alyssa is like, and also all my characters are fucking named after musicians. But um like Jet, what my character Jet, she plays guitar, and then Alyssa plays keyboards and also guitar, and uh Ophelia plays bass and like rhythm acoustic type shit. And I'm trying to learn all of these instruments because I also want to pull like a gorillas type deal and release albums as them and just make the music myself.
Yeah.
And
Mystery Skulls that.
so yeah, and and so like, whenever I hear music, I always like to imagine that it's them playing it or whatever the case may be. My mind always you know always travels to things like that. And so when I listen to those ASMR roleplay things, I always imagine like those are the voices of my characters. That way I can try and like
Oh my
use
God.
that as a kind of foundation of how to develop their character even more.
Uh huh.
Because before they were like pretty one note. I mean, I just made them, and
Right.
then as I even listen, like I watch like Game Grumps and Only
Uh
Plays
huh.
and like these other things, and I imagine my characters talking like that. So instead of, of course, who's actually playing it, I'm imagining my OCs, talking and responding and joking in the same way that they do. That
Right.
way I can be like, this is what I find funny. This is the kind of humor that I like. This is the kind of relationships and friendships that I like. So I put them in place. That way I can uh, better my stories. And when I heard your Tsundere one, I immediately thought of my character Jet.
Of
And
course you did.
so, of course I did.
Of course you
And
did.
of course I did. That's the funniest thing.
Were we just talking
And
about this?
so when when I heard that, I was like, oh my god, I love your voice, oh my god. And then I heard more from you, and then the more like the friendlier,
The
kind of
friendlier, yeah.
comforting ones. Yeah, let's call it that.
The non
the,
insulting one.
no, yeah, like the really nice ones. I imagine my character Alyssa, since she's like the really nice, bubbly, friendly one. And when I heard your normal voice when you were talking about, like when you were just talking, like, in these live
Like
streams,
right now, yeah.
like right now, well, yes, I mean,
Because I am a
um
person.
well, yeah, but like sometimes people just post the art and they don't, like, put themselves out there, and you did. So when I heard your normal voice, I was like, oh my god, your fucking personality is something that I cherish. Like, that's exactly what I fucking wanted. Like, legitimately, I was even thinking like once I get my a new computer and once I get all this animation shit down, I would love to have you as a voice actor for something.
Ooh,
I don't know
okay.
for
I
what, but
see
for
you.
something.
I see you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
um, and I was like, this is she's so cool. So I was just kind of I just kind of like hung out for a little bit and watched some of your videos. I fell asleep to a bunch of them. Just like what everybody else says,
Mm.
you really did help me in a time when I did words. And I, even though that's what you do,
No,
I still
no.
gotta
This
thank
is
you. I still
like
gotta personally thank you.
this is why I started this channel. Is I love hearing these
Exactly.
stories. I love hearing these stories. It's like I'm actually crying right now. Like I love hearing these stories because it does bring me to tears to think that, because I'm not gonna lie, the shifts that I work, and for the last 6 months I haven't left my house except to go to work. I haven't had any human interaction with any one of my friends for months. I haven't talked to anybody. If anything, on like Facebook Messenger, it'll be like a couple of sentences, or like we'll send photos back and forth, but that's it. I felt so isolated in the last couple of months that this channel has really, I've been doing so much with this channel, or focusing so much more on it, that these are the reasons, and it's reminding me why I started the channel, is because of these reasons, that it's not my channel anymore. Like it's a higher, it's gotten to a point where it serves a higher purpose, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, of
Like
course.
it's
I
not
mean, like
about
when I
me.
started,
It's about trying to make other people happy.
yeah, of course. And that's exactly what I do too. Because like I said, I'm trying to do like a drawing every single day on my Instagram and my Twitter. So I'm trying to post as regularly as possible, even though right now it's kind of hard to do anything fun. But I like a lot of people really really like my characters. Like it is one of the most amazing things for someone to tell you that they relate to something, or that they just like the
Oh
character,
yeah.
or they like the design, or they like the personality of this character that you created completely from scratch, from your own fucking mind brain. You actually made it yourself and they love it. And it's the most amazing thing to think about, because I've let me put it this way. I when I made Alyssa, she was my first OC ever, like my first original character that I made that wasn't from an existing fucking franchise. So she was my first one, and I made her like 2 years ago, I think. A lot of shit happened to her, shit. But um like that was my first time ever creating a character myself. So I've never had any experience with any kind of story writing at
Mm.
all. Hence my my horrible first draft of a story where I just took shit from Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon and just fucking, said, "This is mine. This is my thing that I created." That's just Spider-Man and Sailor Moon and Dragon Balls put into one with a little bit of Matrix. But as I actually started like watching more videos about character design, story structure, just learning about storytelling, I realized maybe I don't need to go all balls out. Maybe I should start off by developing these characters I know nothing about. It took me a year to name my first character because I couldn't think of anything.
No, yeah.
Um,
I definitely
like,
feel it.
and I'm so bad with coming up with names, so I just name shit after people.
Are
So
you
like, my
fucking kidding me? Like that's just it. Is that what I do? Is that like I do the same thing? Like I'm the same way. I'm very much the same way. Like I names suck. So what I do is I'll like with oh my god, I completely forgot his name. Like the my god. My only god damn it. I can't remember his name. Why am I not remembering his name of my own character? Princess in the Guard, the main villain. I can't remember his fucking name for the life of me right now. But it's it the name means something in Latin. Like, and it has to do with a
okay.
characteristic of the character, like cunning. That's what it
Oh yeah.
was. Like, and like simulate means cunning
Oh.
in Latin, and that was the name of the actual villain of my series, and or Simu for short, and that's why I like that name, is because that I just Googled I put different random words in Google Translate that sound like characteristics of characters, and I try to find a name that sounded remotely like a name. Like with Lucerne, that's that name I came up with, that's something that I've been sitting on for a while, and I feel like I've actually said that name before in a different story, but I honestly can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And but either way, I love that name. Like, originally it was going to be Mr. Salvador. Like, originally Salvador was going to be the last name, but I decided to do Mr. Salvador Lucerne. That's the full name, because I like the finesse more. And with Rose, I can't remember her full name. I think it was Rose Charmant. I think that was Rose Charmant, and that's French for Charmant is French for God. I think it's seamstress. It's French for something. I honestly can't remember, but it does stand for something.
Right.
And it's, again, I don't speak French. I don't speak Latin. I just use Google Translate for these things, so it could be completely wrong. But either way, it sounded like a really pretty name.
Oh yeah. And see, like with my character Alyssa Fields, her name is Alyssa because that's the name of my favorite female singer, Alyssa Whitegloves, and Fields is a play on James Hetfield of Metallica.
Right.
Ophelia Nichols is her name, and see, I've always loved the name Ophelia ever since I was in high school. I loved the name Ophelia, and that name is also like, I don't know if anybody remembers the game Brutal Legend, the Jack Black game, which everyone calls it. Which, of course, I'm a metalhead. Of course, I'm gonna love it, and the love interest in this Jack Black game was named Ophelia. So I basically just took that, and Nichols is off of Murdoch Nichols of the Gorillaz, and Jet, because she's a punk, Joan Jett. It's simple. And I have this other character that I'm kind of working on too. His name is Dave Calderon. Dave, either Dave Murray of Iron Maiden or Dave Mustaine of Megadeth, and Calderon is the last name of 331 E-Rock. His full name is Eric Calderon, so Calderon. And so basically, nothing is original with me. Even the names, because the name of my whole thing, I'm gonna call it Sunset Heights. That's the name of my story. And I checked to see if it was anything yet, like to see if it was like copyrighted or anything. I found out it was a level in Sonic Forces, and I didn't know.
Oh, Sega got to you first, Bobo.
I'm keeping it though. That shit's cool. And plus, I like Sunset, and the character Alyssa has blonde hair with pink tips, so it's like her hair is like a sunset. So I'm keeping that gosh dang name. I don't care what anybody says. And that's essentially how I came up with like just the names in general, because I'm awful with names. Everything that I name is after something.
Well, don't feel bad. You could be stuck with Vixie for the rest of your life. Like,
Vixie's a cool name, though.
Really? I thought it sounded like a streetwalker.
I think so.
Like,
well, if you, like, anything could be a stripper name if you fucking say it enough. Like,
well. That's true.
Like, Vixie sounds like Pixie, and when I think of Pixie, I think of a small fairy.
Well, actually, Vixie is actually, I didn't know this until after, well, I completely forgot this until after I started doing this and started taking off as a channel. But Vixie is actually the name of the fox, the love interest in Fox and the Hound.
Oh.
And I didn't know that. Like, I completely forgot. Like, I had completely forgot. Like, I didn't do it intentionally, but like, her name was Vixie. And I was like, oh, she's cute. Okay, I could jive with that.
And you're just okay with it. I love it.
I mean, I still think it sounds like I don't introduce myself like, hi, I'm Vixie. Like, that sounds, it makes me sound like a stripper. If you saw what I look like it would just not.
I mean, I think it's also just how you present yourself.
It is how I present. I'm like Jenna Marbles, where it's like, what you see is not what you get. Like, it is 100% not what you get. Oh my God. Can I tell you a secret?
What's your secret?
We've been streaming for over 2 hours.
Already?
Mm-hmm. It's about 2 hours and 5 minutes. Officially.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Told you, time just flies. We haven't done anything with the chat, though. Like, nothing.
I'm sorry. I sometimes I forget and I think I'm on a cool I feel like I'm on a call with someone I've known for years.
Well, no, it's just how about for the last like I gotta be logging out soon, but like how about for the last like
Hmm.
20 minutes, let's see if the chat wants to ask us any questions, and I will be
Okay.
monitoring the chat. I'll let you know if we see any because y'all are quick. So if you have any questions
Yeah,
for me or for Unicorn over here,
that's me.
let us know. Hit us up. I'm sorry that we have not been chatting with you, but we've just been reminiscing. Like
Yeah, like I think just because it's like my introduction, and so like I just have a lot of story.
I mean, it's cool. Like that's what I like about these. That's why I want to bring people in these, podcasts or live streams because they're fun, and it's more fun with other
They are fun.
people because time
Oh,
goes by so much faster with other people.
I try to live stream on my Instagram every so often, and I always get like 5 people, and it's always the same 5 people, but it's still the funnest
Okay,
shit ever. I
here we
just
go.
rarely get to do.
Okay, here we go.
Mm.
Unicorn, you got to get a Patreon so people can help you. Oh my god.
Oh man.
See, there you go.
Ah, see, and that I've
Oh,
really
my
been
glucose
playing.
spouse wants to wants to be your glucose spouse.
And see, like I've been playing around with the idea of getting a Patreon or any kind of funding thing, but I don't have like I don't feel like I'm consistent enough to do that, at least as of now. Like I've been really waiting on it just because I'm so uh like I constantly have shit going on, and especially right now, like
Mm-hmm.
I haven't posted in like almost 2 weeks, and I've been drawing every single day for like for over 200 days. So like that sudden drop off,
Right.
and I don't mean to, but like it like I've like miraculously, like right now, like of course I'm not busy because I'm doing this, but like recently, especially like the past couple of weeks, it's just been hell,
Right.
like just the worst. So like right now, I really do want to get a Patreon, but I want to get it at a point where I know that I will be able to make consistent
Right.
stuff
And that's fair.
constantly.
That's
So
totally
so
fair.
that yeah, because I don't want people to pay for me and then be like, hey, I asked you to do a commission 3 years ago, and I
Well,
never got any word on it.
Well, that's just it. Is that I think that most people, at least for now, are just happy to support you in the situation that you're in, like because it
Yeah,
is a great support network, even if there is
of
no
course.
content. Because it's
And
you will post content, and it's a show. It's
yeah,
just a show of good faith. Show that people believe in you because they do. I'm sure my little lovelies would love to jump in and help you out. Like, I'm sure they would.
and like I'm eternally grateful that that's been the first thing that someone said. Like that
Well,
says a
here's
lot
the
that that's the
next
first thing.
one. And it's
Oh,
kind of a doozy. But I think that it's something that we can all relate to. I just broke up with my girlfriend of 7 months. Any advice?
ooh,
Take it
ooh,
slow. Take a break. You need to take your
ooh.
time. If I was to say anything, don't rush into anything else. Just take your time.
Okay, so of 7 months, because it really depends on how it went down. Like, was it an ugly breakup? Was it what? Was it
Was it
like mutual?
mutual? Yeah.
Was it something?
Was it you? Was it
Did
them?
you
Was there something bad? Was there something good? Was it a mutual breakup? Like,
did she do something, or did you do something? Like, there's a lot of factors that go into I broke up with my girlfriend, because normally, at least experience, they've always broken up. But
okay. Well, then
so
in this situation, like, I have dumped somebody, and it's if that's the case, like, and you just give it time. That's really all I can say is just give it its
time,
time,
uh,
like about like an appropriate amount of time, a month, like, or
yeah,
however you feel comfortable enough, like you don't feel like you'd have to duck behind cars if you were like walking with somebody, like if you saw them walking down the street,
yeah.
like
If like, okay, so
it was mutual. Okay.
if it was mutual, and if it's just like that hurt where it just stings, and you're just feeling depressed and shit. I The advice that I could give is to keep yourself busy, find a
Mm.
hobby, something that you enjoy doing, something
Start
with
a YouTube channel.
your hands. Yeah,
It'll
like
suck
do
all of your time.
make any kind of content, like even like, try to maybe like if you draw, try to draw. If you want to learn how to draw, like try to teach yourself something new. Maybe not an instrument since they cost money and money is hard. Um, but try to find something that interests you and continue on that thing. And don't feel bad if you lose interest afterwards, because that
Yeah.
just means that you're like growing up more. Because
You're figuring it
way
out.
back, like when you're a kid, when, when I was like 5, I wanted to be a bowler, and then I
Yo,
grew
you
up.
are a cool kid.
Like I wanted to be a bowler for some reason, and then I grew up. I wanted to be a game designer because every kid wanted to be one.
Yeah.
And then I kind of dropped away from video games because I picked up a guitar because of Guitar Hero, and then I picked up a real guitar, and I'm like, I want to do this, and then I started. I've been drawing my whole life, and then actually seriously, and now I'm making my own characters, and now I'm like, I want to be a cartoonist and a fucking a comic man, and I also want to be a musician, and I also want to be this and that, and that. Like if you have an idea, roll with it. Just keep going with it, because if you have tunnel vision and you just have that one goal set in mind, you're going to constantly disappoint yourself because you're not going to reach that goal in time. Do small goals. Try to learn things that you've never thought that you want to learn, like, maybe to learn a different language, or just something that can keep your mind and your hands busy. It's extremely hard. Like I, the there's tons and tons of like story behind like the breakup that I went through, and a bunch of
Oh my
confusion, and
god.
I'm never gonna get closure.
Yeah, then
Um,
don't wait for closure. Don't expect closure cuz
yeah,
it's not going to happen. Like,
yeah, and like she like, put it this way, she left me like last November, right before Thanksgiving, and like I wanted to try and talk with her to be all like, hey, can you explain to me why you left me, because I still don't really know. And I never heard from her since like January, and it's August, and I haven't heard from her since. So I'm already, she's gone. That's it. Like I've already given up because she's given up. I don't care either. If
right.
she like I've learned this the hard way, but I've put as much effort into a relationship, whether it be friendship or otherwise. I put as much effort into the relationship as they put, because if why would you want to waste your energy and time on someone who doesn't give? So if they don't give a shit, you shouldn't either. That's the biggest thing.
You're just as much in the relationship as they are. Like,
Exactly.
and that's the one thing I stress in all of my series, like, especially when I give advice, like, you're just as much in the relationship and you have an opinion just as much as the other person, like,
Exactly.
and so
And
I hate it when relationships are dictated by one side, like, it,
absolutely.
because I've been on both ends of that, like, it's annoying, like, on both
It
sides.
is. It really is. And like I said, I'm never gonna get a reason. Like she
A
told me a
clear,
reason, but I
concrete
know,
reason.
yeah, like she told me it was like because it was a long distance relationship, and it was like that since the very beginning. And she's the one that wanted to be in one in the first place, while I just came from an abusive relationship before her. So I didn't want to even be in one, and she convinced me it was okay. And then she's the one that leaves me 2 years later. So I, so that it broke me, just because it's like, why is this thing that was already a factor just now bothering you, even though we've seen each other, so we know it's possible, so it's not like we're never going to see each other again. It's I'm not going to go into it. Like I've already done my dues with that whole deal. But just in the advice department, the biggest thing is not to jump into a relationship right away.
Right.
That is rule number fucking one.
Well,
Because mm,
Well, okay. I am that girl that is never single for very long. I'm very much that girl. The last time I was single, the longest time I've ever been single is 4 months. Like,
oh
from when I started dating to now. Like, when I started dating at 16 to now. The longest time I've ever been single was 4 months, and that was not too long ago.
wow.
Because that's just I'm such a believer of like wanting to make something work with somebody. I'm such a believer in like meeting someone and feeling an instant connection with them. Like, because I'm not looking, like after a relationship, like of course you're not looking, but that's when finds you. You know, you're trying to be single, you're trying to be good, you're trying to keep it together, but no, these people find you and they burrow into your heart and they make you care about them by being nice to you. Then they continue to be nice to you.
What kind of black magic is this?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's just what happens with me. Like, and I hate because I've definitely to all my friends, I've come off as that person. I have not been like, I think the longest, like the last relationship I was in lasted 2 years. We had a lease together and we lived together and it didn't work out. We were mutual. We split ways. It's cool. We still talk. It's totally fine. I like, you know, no hard feelings, especially especially now. It's just that like shortly after, not shortly, but like a couple of months after, I ended up meeting somebody that like, you know, I felt an instant connection to, and it was hard it's hard to walk away from that situation, you know?
That's true. That is
like,
very true.
It's really hard because I'm a firm believer of you never know. Like, this could be the one. You never know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. There's what like
know.
It's better to live a life full of oh wells rather than what ifs.
Yeah, and I'm a very firm believer of meeting and getting to know somebody, even if on a personal level, like, because relationship will end one of two ways, right? Like, either it works out or it doesn't. And so I'm a firm believer in things working out, and I'll do what it takes. My longest, like, I only have long relationships. Like, the shortest relationship I think I've been in was 8 months.
Yeah.
Like, I only have long-term or quote-unquote long-term relationships. Like 4 years, 3 years, too. Blah, 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 blah.
I'm the exact same way. If I ever get in a relationship, I want it to last. Like, I don't want to waste my goddamn time. And if
I'm not dating. I'm not here to date.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if the fucking light bulb goes out, you don't move, you fucking change the light bulb. And she fucking moved. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. You know, so
you don't sell the house.
Yeah. Sell the house. Like, I'm a fucking
put it on the market.
And like, I've gotten to the point where, like, right now where I'm at, I have so much baggage just in general. I don't know if I could be in a relationship.
The chat's getting mad at us for not paying attention to it.
I'm sorry. We're still giving advice.
We're giving advice.
It's still the pain of the breakup is still fresh in me, so I'm trying to help out this dude. So I mean, okay, so we have spent a little bit too long on that. So basically, just keep yourself busy and don't expect someone else to come up suddenly. Let your life happen on its own. Do everything and keep doing what you want to do. Keep doing what you want to do. Yeah.
100%. Someone will come along. Like 100%.
Yeah. So, like, if your main concern is you want to get into another relationship, just wait it out. And if your main concern is like, not thinking about it, like what to do, like after the fact, just keep yourself busy and find things that you like, learn new things, and the pain will subside. Everything will be cool. I promise.
Definitely. 100%. Yes. Okay, so. Ooh, my goodness. Let's spend, like, because I need to cut this off pretty quickly. Let's go through. Oh, here's a couple of quick answer questions. Yes or no question. Do we like cookies?
Fire. It depends on what kind of cookie, but I enjoy anything that's given to me.
Anything with sugar in it, I'm 100% for. If it's got chocolate, I'm on. I'm done. I'm good.
Love raisins.
Oh, here we go. What do you think about mashing names up together to make a new one? Like ship names. 100% for.
You know what? That's one of my favorite things. Like, I haven't thought of one for my characters yet, but that is a fun pastime to just
ship
think
names
of.
Are fun. Shipping is
ship
fun.
names are very fun.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so let's do this one as like the last question. Okay, before we end it. And
Okay.
let's do quick not quick like what would you say to somebody who asked this as the elevator doors were closing? So, elevator doors are closing, someone asks you, "I need to work on my confidence." Any advice for that?
I need to work on my
Confidence.
oh wow.
Breathe.
Um
That's all I have to say. Is just breathe.
yeah, like if it's like a self-conscious thing, like whether it be physical or like with like talent wise, like you feel like you can't do anything. Like same thing with the other guy, like just try new things. You'll never know what you're good at until you just try different shit. Like I had no idea I was going to be a guitarist when I was like 10. Then suddenly I got a guitar and it's like, "Hey, I could do this good." Um like you never know what life is going to fucking throw at you, and you're not going to go anywhere if you just stick to that one you've been dreaming about since you've been a kid. Just go about your life, keep doing you. uh Try to find something that you have interest in and keep going through that rabbit hole. And like I said, you'll find something that will interest you to the point where you'll get so passionate about it, you'll have no choice but to be fucking amazing at it. Guess what? You feel better about yourself because you're already cool. You know what? You babies, you're already cool. You guys are already fucking great. Why the you ain't need a confidence boost. You guys are already fucking all right in my book.
I mean, I get it though. Confidence in terms of a social situation, like
Oh yeah.
I'm a
Okay.
very, very, very I'm an extroverted introvert. Like I'm somebody that I can get numbers for people. Like I'm the wing girl. Like I am very
Oh.
confident because I am impenetrable to shame. That's honestly what it is that I don't care what people think about me because I've been
That's
on this
good.
earth for this long. Yes, I may not have been on this earth for very long, but now that I'm diagnosed, I could give a less of a fuck of what other people think of me. I may not be here tomorrow. I may not, who knows
Yeah.
what's going to happen to me? I don't know what's going to happen. So why the hell would I worry about what one person who I'm probably going to see for 30 seconds thinks of me? Like, like they don't know what the hell's
Yeah.
going on in my life. They don't know what the hell like they don't know that I'm, struggling, or I may not know what they're going through. It's
Yeah,
just,
everybody's their own main character in their own life, and that's the thing that trips me up.
and that's just it, is that if you're not feeling confident in a social situation and you're trying to be but you're feeling like yourself, then maybe that's not the right social situation to be in, because
And it's also the people you surround yourself with, because if you
exactly.
surround yourself with people that you just you have nothing in common, you like they're awkward and they just don't like they themselves don't feel comfortable around you, so you don't know what to do. Like it depends on the kind of people you. It's I
See, friends are the
like
type
it.
of people that will support you in social situations. Best friends are the ones that take you and literally throw you into the deep end by yourself.
Yeah.
Like, in at least in in social situations, the best friends are the ones you hate. Like, they're the ones that push you to do the things that you don't fucking want to do, but they'll make you do it. They're like, they'll walk to
and,
the edge
and
with you though. Like, they'll be there at the edge with you.
and the
They'll
crazy
be
thing
there in
is
the cell
I
with you. Like,
and see, I actually have similar issues because I'm like I said, I moved from El Paso to Dallas, so everybody that I grew up with and everyone that I've known my entire life is gone, so I have to kind of fend for myself out here. And I
right.
made one friend, and I'm also friends with her boyfriend, but I rarely get to see her because she works like 13-hour days, 6 days a week, so I
The
rarely get to see
struggle.
her. And when I do get to see her, well, of course we have a great time, but there's long spans of time where I don't spend time with anybody, so my social skills just dwindle to the point where I'm just a bumbling fool that doesn't know how to get a fucking sentence out. And again, it's just like this worked for me. Like I don't know, it depends on you as a person, but like for me, one thing that I would always do, and I still do to this day, is that I always talk to myself about things that I like. Like I talk about my, how I dealt with shit, how I came up with ideas, music I like, things that I like, and if I talk to myself, of course I'm not saying to anybody, but I always talk to myself. That way I can kind of gain my own confidence within myself to know that I at least know what the fuck I'm talking about. And you can kind of fine tune the way that you speak. if you just talk to yourself, and then you can talk a little bit more confidently since you kind of had your own practice. Um, that's what I did. And, and again, with me, it worked for me, but I listened to a lot of podcasts and, things, I watch things where people primarily talk. And if you listen to them talk, you start to see like how they work. You got to see like what kind of personalities they have, their likes, their dislikes. You get to know them as a person. So you kind of have more things to base your whole social situation around. And like I said, it just depends on you as a person. Everybody's different, but that's just what me. So just try out different things. Don't bottle yourself into a specific thing or a specific type of interest, because again, you're not going to go anywhere if you just have tunnel vision the entire way. You have to.
Exactly. No, and I completely agree. Like, okay.
Yes.
Yes. Well, that about does it. 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Wow.
Not bad at all. I want to thank you very much for joining me in this on this beautiful day. And thanks for joining me in my live stream this week, even though I had that that one laptop issue. I hope that I'm going to try and keep figuring this out to see if I can fix it, and hope that it doesn't, and just pray that it doesn't happen again. Thank you all so much for joining me and my friend Unicorn here in this stream. We are so appreciative that you have been able to join us, chat with us, even though we haven't been chatting with you, and we apologize for that.
If I come on to a next time, I promise we'll figure this shit out.
We say that, but we know that we know the reality. It's probably going to end up just like this. And I mean, it is what it is. We hope that you enjoyed us chatting, at least,
Yeah.
Us being snarky to each other.
Yeah. I hope I didn't bring everybody down with my sad stories, because I kind of forgot that like there's like other people here.
Oh no. Like this is why we're here. Like this is what a fucking roleplay channel is for. Like this is why we heal.
Yeah, and it was like a natural conversation. It's the same thing, essentially.
And it is what it is, and that's what I love about these streams, is that it's just a stream of consciousness. It really is.
And I really appreciate having me here. Like when I just got your message and you're like, hey, wanna be in the stream with me? And I'm like, yeah, dude, that sounds great. With how fun your streams are already when you're by yourself. Like, I was excited.
Yeah, I entertain myself a lot. Like
we have to do this again, honestly.
Oh, definitely. We definitely 100% are going to. So thank you all so much for joining us in the stream. I am so excited that we've had such a successful stream, and it flew by. Like, it honestly did. So
yeah, seriously.
Thank you again. His link, if you want to go check out UnicornWizard and all of the stuff that he's doing, I've got his Instagram link into the description below. Please check that out. It will be there once the stream is re-uploaded later. Hopefully it's one video, and the link will still be there for all of you to check out. And of course, check out Rags and Riches. You are going to hear his beautiful voice on that series from now on, as our Mr. Lucerne, or as our mad dad. So
yeah,
thank you so much for allowing me to literally shackle you to this channel. Like, thank you for allowing me to use your voice, and for allowing me to catapult you into this world, because I think that you're gonna do great.
I'm already having a great time, and I again, I want to thank everybody in the chat specifically, because the support that I'm already gaining from you guys it's crazy, because I just got here, man. I'm just a little scrappy little boy that you found on the street, and then suddenly you're
a little stray that I let have some food.
I am a stray. I got hair like a shaggy dog too, so it's fitting.
Alrighty, thank you everybody so much once again. I know I say thank you so much, but this is just kind of what happens. Like I can't stop saying thank you.
We're just grateful. Grateful.
I really am. Like, we really are. So thank you all so much once again, and we will see you all in the next one. Bye everyone. Bye lovelies. Bye.